Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we are live for Manchester United against Leicester City in the Premier League. The games keep coming thick and fast for Manchester United, and I tell you what, with the results that happened yesterday, it's a big opportunity for, of course, Manchester United to close in on Manchester City and be 3 points off them. So very excited about this. A lot of people saying, is Alanga starting? Well, you know, this is the problem that we're starting to get a little bit. It's good times at Manchester United, but I have noticed that the team news is starting to come out earlier and earlier. It's a big question. I mean, who's leaking the team? It's happened for a lot. I don't think it helps in a game like this when you're leaking a team that's, you know, rotated, because it gives people like Brendan Rodgers a big boost. But then again, in football, to be honest with you, these things do tend to get leaked a little bit early anyway, and maybe the manager finds out before we do anyway. But there has been some leaks that Anthony Alanga will start, Victor Lindelof will start, and also that Harry Maguire is not part of the squad. Well, I can give you the lineup, and it's true. Victor Lindelof does start, as does David De Gea. So it's De Gea, Dalot, Shaw, Lindelof, Martinez, Sabitzer, Fred, Bruno, Rashford, Weghorst, Garnacho. So the Alanga starting rumour was not true. So it just goes to show you, sometimes leaked lineups can be false. So there is no starting place for Alanga. Garnacho starts, and to be honest with you, that's the team I picked for in the preview, bar one player, which was Maguire, who's not even on the bench. So I think Maguire would have started. So it is the team I predicted in the preview. It is De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Fred, Sabitzer, Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho and Weghorst. And I think that's a team that you would be pretty happy with going to win the game, wouldn't you? I think you'd be pretty happy with that, considering that we've made a little bit of rotation there. But obviously, no Anthony, no McTominay, no Martial. None of these players are back yet. And Alanga is firmly on the bench. The bench for Manchester United consists of Tom Heaton, Malacia, Rafael Varane, Wan-Bissaka, Mainu. Oh, McTominay is on the bench, sorry. McTominay on the bench with Mainu, Pellistri, Alanga and Sancho on the bench, which is actually, you know, probably the big talking point from the team there, really, is probably Jadon Sancho being on the bench. Casemiro is suspended. I got that wrong in the preview as well, but he is. Joshua says it's not true because you had Casemiro in there. Yeah, but I did figure it out after about 10 minutes, Joshua. Give me some credit. Jay, welcome to the Members Club. But yeah, Casemiro completing his last domestic game suspension. Obviously, he'll be back for Barcelona on Thursday and the Carabao Cup a week today. I mean, what a week for Manchester United. What a week it is. We can win today and we go 3 points behind Manchester City. Thursday night, the prize is knocking Barcelona out. And then next Sunday, it's the Carabao Cup final and the chance to win our first silverware in 5 years. So what a week it is for United. And look, if we're 3 points behind Man City at the end of this game, and I know Arsenal will say, what about us? But I think Arsenal, you've not been in a title race for 20 years. So there's absolutely no problem thinking that we, that maybe you will drop more points. I think Man City are always going to be the standard bearers. Been looking for at our fixtures, and after Liverpool, 9 of our 13 Premier League games are 3 p.m. kickoffs, according to Google. Absolutely joke in the UK. Yeah, but Jake, that's because they haven't done the TV fixtures yet. We're not playing 3 o'clock Saturday if we're playing Thursday night football. And remember, if we get past Barcelona, we're not going to be playing Saturdays. We'll be playing Sundays. But look, I think we're in a strong position. And I'm pretty happy with that team. I don't know whether I can get that team on you. We are sponsored by Surfshark, and I'll tell you what that's all about in a minute. But the link's in the video description for Surfshark, and you can scan the QR code. Virtual private network, fantastic offer for you. We'll go through that in a moment. But let's just have a quick look at the Manchester United side. There it is on the screen for you. So let me. What can I do? Can I do? Oh, that's all right. Okay, so that's on the screen for you there perfectly. So that's the Manchester United lineup. What are your thoughts on it? Are you happy with it? I'm pretty happy with that. The one thing I would say is that might surprise a few people. Welcome to the Members Club as well, Jose. Thanks for supporting the channel. Remember, if you want to be a member, click the member join button. You get the badge and support the channel. Fantastic. Smash the like button, says Gabrielle, who's a member as well. I predicted in the preview that Jadon Sancho would be on the bench, and I think there's a few people in the chat saying, why is Sancho on the bench? And logically, normally, it wouldn't make any sense because Sancho's a very important player for us. But I think it's just about managing the expectation and using that P word, patience, which we all know. Jadon Sancho has missed 3 months of football. for whatever reason, he missed 3 months of football. Came back, had a cameo off the bench, did quite well in the number 10 position. To be honest with you, last couple of games, Barcelona and Leeds, hasn't played particularly well, and has looked a bit off the pace. And I think Ten Hag looks at it and gone, right, now's the time to take him out the starting lineup. Let's go back to those bench cameos. Let's get him working hard, and let's gradually be patient and introduce him into the team. I think some people maybe thought Sancho was going to come back, start playing every game and be, A-star Sancho. And I think it's going to take a little bit longer than that. So I think it's the right decision to put him on the bench, because if he's struggling a little bit in readjusting, then the pressure of starting is probably best to remove that. Garnacho deserves a start, and I think it's the right choice. 4-1 to Manchester United, says Unruly. And seriously, what is Bruno made of, says Aram. He's a consistent 90-minute player every game. He doesn't get enough credit for it, Aram. I agree. I don't think he does get enough credit for it. And also, I don't think he gets enough credit for his captaincy. I mean, Manchester United, I saw something today that we've got most points if you take away the first 2 games of the season, which was when Bruno took over as captain as well. Is Lindelof a concern for pace today, says Canna? Well, he is a concern for pace today, but he's slightly quicker than Harry Maguire. And I think 100% we were always going to rest Varane for this game, considering we've got Barcelona and the Carabao Cup final coming up. So I think it was very intelligent to rest Varane today, considering that Martinez didn't play on Thursday anyway. So it was always going to be Martinez and Maguire or Lindelof. I don't know what the issue is with Maguire. It must be injury. There's no way he wouldn't be on the bench or even starting. I think Voot will be 10 again, says Tyrone. Could be. Yeah, could be. I mean, that might be incorrect. I think Rashford might go down the middle, Weghorst at 10 and Bruno on the right. Got to say, I don't like that, but Ten Hag's the manager and we trust him. I much prefer seeing Bruno Fernandes playing as a 10, but could be that. We've just had I wonder what the W's were for in the chat. Chris Secco has just gifted 50 United Stand memberships. That is very generous from Chris. Make sure you say thank you to him if you've got your badge. Get the badge in on Chris, legend of the chat, early doors as well. He's scored a hat-trick in the first few minutes here. Well, he's scored 50 memberships to people in the chat that they give them out randomly. So if you got one, well done. Maguire's going to start the cup final and lift the trophy, says MUFC 95. And feeling good about the team. Be nice if we can get a few early goals so we can get Rashford and Bruno off early, says Raz. Match day, let's go, says Chris Secco. Legend, pal. Look, let's not put any disrespect onto Leicester. They're a good side, and we'll go through the Leicester lineup and thoughts on the game in a minute. But let me just tell you about Surfshark. Surfshark is a virtual private network. What is that? Well, most people know what that is, but basically it protects your identity and personal data when you're online. But my favourite thing about Surfshark is that you can, if you are using, the best way is basically you can hide your location when you're using a location-specific streaming services. So if you're on Netflix and you want to use your UK, but you're in Australia and you want to use your UK Netflix, you can be in Australia, change your location to London, it will think you're in London, and you can log into your UK stuff. So that's how that works with a virtual private network, and it protects all your data as well. Also, fantastic offer for you. If you sign up for Surfshark by scanning the QR code next to me or going through the link in the description, you can get the first 3 months free, not 1, not 2, but 3 months free when you use the code United Stand, and you receive 83% off after that. So a fantastic offer to try it out. So even if you are with another virtual private network provider, it's well worth giving Surfshark a download and having a crack with it, because you get 3 months free and 83% off. So big shout out to Surfshark. Really, really good. I use it, and I'm sure some of you will use it and find it useful as well. So give it a try. It's one of those things that's useful. Let's have a look. Big shout out to Surfshark anyway. Let's have a look at the Leicester lineup, and then I want to look at the league table. So we'll quickly glance at the Leicester lineup here. We await Ten Hag's comments on Maguire. I just presume he's probably injured, which, you know what, actually, can I just say about the Maguire thing? If he is injured, and I know some people will probably be happy about that, which I find ridiculous, but is it not just another example of what we keep talking about? Harry Maguire started the season at the start of August, went to the World Cup, now picking up injuries that he doesn't. Harry Maguire never normally gets injured. So we are starting to see more and more of these World Cup player fatigue injuries. And like somebody said there, Bruno and Rashford deserve massive credit, because touch wood, we've not had that yet. As you can see for For Leicester, it's Mendy in the midfield with Dewsbury Hall, and it's that front four that's done really well recently. Harvey Barnes, Maddison, Tete and Iheanacho. And we've got to watch out for that because they are very clinical at the moment. 8 goals in their last 2 games. They're going to be energetic. It's one of those games you want to score first in. I think if you give Leicester any encouragement, then it could be a difficult afternoon. You think about Leeds a couple of weeks ago, got a 2-2 draw because they scored against us first twice. I think we've got to take control of this game, and I think we will. As I said in the preview, I can see us winning 2-0 here because I think we'll have a lot of possession, and as long as we defend well, I'd fancy us to score a couple of goals at Old Trafford. AIS, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. Thank you for joining. Daniel FA as well. Appreciate it. Suyesh as well. Spark says, Mark, what are your thoughts on Leicester scoring 8 goals in 2 games? No thoughts at all, really. Aston Villa conceded 4 again yesterday at home. That's twice in 2 home games that Villa have conceded 4. And Spurs are Spurs. So I don't think Spurs and Villa's defence is the same as Manchester United's defence. So I don't see us conceding 4 goals and getting battered by Leicester. I genuinely don't see that happening. I think we're above that, and we've proved that this season, and that would be a real step back for a team that's making major strides forwards. Ella says, hi Mark, if you could choose only one out of Felix, Mbappe or Gakpo to sign next season, which one would you choose? I think you'd go Mbappe, wouldn't you? One of the best players in the world. Jim, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. And let's have a look at the table, because I think this is really interesting as well. That was the Leicester team. We'll get the stats carousel running around in a minute. Remember, that's sponsored by OneFootball, and you can download that for free. Available, get all your latest breaking football news and stats on there. Available on Apple and Android. Sir Alex is looking very happy at the moment, says Luke. Well, it's probably been the best period of time since he retired. And also, I don't know Sir Alex Ferguson's personality, but basically he's one of the greatest managers to ever manage. If he'd have retired and then somebody'd come in and won 3 Premier League titles in a row, I'm sure he'd have been happy, but it also would have been, well, it's not hard to do it at United, is it? The fact that he retired with the Premier League title, one of the greatest managers has ever been, and then 10 years later we've been nowhere near one, his legacy and status is, very, very much enhanced by that, isn't it? Because it's not easy. But I think he'll be enjoying the fact that Manchester United are doing well. Maguire probably out because he's forced to train the way we play and his body can't handle it, says Julian. And Mark, not sure if I missed it, but any updates on Anthony and Martial, says Chris. It's always difficult, isn't it, when people ask me about Anthony and Martial, because it's Anthony Martial, but we are talking about 2 players there, Brazilian Anthony and French Martial. What we heard was that Martial and Anthony would be out of this game anyway, and then early this week he was hoping that there'd be some sort of return. You can pretty much guarantee that both of them won't be back for Barcelona, but maybe one of them will. He did say that McTominay might be involved today, and lo and behold, McTominay's on the bench. So hopefully that means that we get to see Martial and Anthony returning this week for a big week. One thing we don't have is many options on the bench at the moment. So that game against Barcelona on Thursday in the Carabao Cup, it'd be good to have one of those players back, if not 2. Mark, come to Singapore, cleanest country, and 60% of the people are United fans and the rest are Liverpool fans. Can Rashford get 35 plus goals this season, says Harry? I hope so. And look, you know what? Let's just have a quick look at this league table. As you can see, it's on the screen there. What a day it was yesterday. Some really interesting results. I think Liverpool are going to be coming hard for 4th place now, but I think we've got a good gap on them. 11 points ahead of Liverpool, and I think we've played the same amount of games as well, so I'm not too worried about what's going on behind us. That can change very, very quickly. I think Newcastle are putting themselves into a bit of a top 4 race, whereas I think we are starting to look pretty good. I'm looking up at the moment, and I'm looking at the game in hand we've got on Manchester City, and if we win today, we go 3 points behind Manchester City and 5 points behind Arsenal, who will have a game in hand again. But remember, Arsenal have got to go to Man City, and I just don't see them winning there. So I don't take any notice of that Arsenal game in hand. Not because they might win it. I'm not being disrespectful. Arsenal have had a very good season, but I think you've got to sort of play that game and go, I'm not expecting Arsenal to win at Etihad, so they're 5 points ahead. If we win today, they're 5 points ahead of us, and Man City are 3 points ahead of us. We are in a technical title race, whether people want it or not. And I don't want title race talk because I think it's too soon. But I mean, would it not just be ridiculous if Manchester United went from being the worst ever Premier League side we've had to winning the Premier League? I mean, that's the sort of story you want to be told. But I think, look, we need to win because it's a home game against a team we should beat, and we need to get as many points as we can because we never know if we're going to go and get loads and loads of injuries or a dip in form. We've not had our dip yet either, have we? Our dip was the start of the season, the first 2 games. We'll surely have a dip at some point. Maybe not, but we've got to anticipate that might happen. So that's why it's important to win today. But if you do win today, 3 points off Manchester City, game on. And remember, we haven't got to play Man City or Arsenal again, which in some ways is good, but in some ways it's a bit annoying because you almost want to play them again so you can beat them. I saw somebody on about that the other day, and they were saying, oh, it's good that we haven't got to play Man City or Arsenal. And I'm like, I'm looking at the points and I'm going, actually, I wouldn't mind having to play Arsenal again, just so you could look at it and go, well, that's 3 points we can close up. But other people are going to drop points. Interesting thing for us is after today, our next Premier League game is Anfield and Liverpool. So, look, that title race talk is probably premature and difficult, but you may as well put yourself in the conversation. And I put us in the conversation, but it's very difficult to stay in the conversation. But stay in it for as long as you can, and winning today puts us in the conversation. There's no doubts. There's no doubts. Sean says, hi Mark, the United stand and you are legends. Thanks for everything you do. Who would you like to see as De Gea's understudy? Thanks for the super chat, Sean. Thanks everyone who's done the super chat so far. There's a lot of people getting involved in the chat, which is great as well. Make sure you subscribe to the United stand. Manchester United. I've got a new statement from Manchester United Supporters Trust on bids submitted to buy Manchester United. I will bring that to you, actually. Very interested, because nobody's really spoke about the bids yet. And I was tempted to do a show this morning on it, and I thought, you know what? Let's just have a day where we focus on the match, and I that's the most important thing. But there is big stuff going on, of course. So I'll have a quick look at that in a minute. Karius in goal for the final. You know what, Harron? Karius having to play in goal because Nick Pope got sent off yesterday is a big talking point, but it just shows you how great our season is. It reminds me of a Wish version of 99 at the moment, and anybody who was alive or remembers the season 99 when we won the treble, there is a little bit, only a little bit of a similar, it's like a Wish version, like I say, because, that season, you're trying to win the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and it's relentless. It's just relentless. You're going from one game to the other. It was so exciting. It gives me goosebumps now thinking about it. It's amazing. It was an amazing season. In a different way, this is a little bit like that because, that Karius being in goal next week for the Cup final, what a game. But you're like, well, we're playing a Premier League game and we've got Barcelona on Thursday. That's just going to have to wait until next Friday and Saturday. And that's a great position to be in because for Newcastle, all they're thinking about is that's their next game. But for us, we're like, we've got today, we've got Thursday. It is a massive game against Newcastle. I'm not discrediting it at all, but it's down the list at the moment, isn't it? Because we've got so much going on. Shout out to Harry Suter. Love seeing a fellow Aussie doing well on the big stage. However, I'm Glory Man United as Nicholas Hardy. Thank you very much for that, Nicholas. Appreciate the super chat. Adam isn't going to the post-match news conference again, is he, Mark? Says the Mr. Tower Hill. Not today. No, why? What's the problem with that? And Mark, been with you for a while. Remember when there were only hundreds in the chat during Watchalong's hard work pays off. Congratulations, says Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. And I know the name, Andrew Rossi. I'm sure many old-timers will as well. Philippe, welcome to the Members Club as well. You know what? There's many people watching, but I do get to recognise the names, and I do appreciate those who've been with us for a long time. But as I say, the community's growing all the time, so make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Martin says, I remember treble, best year of my life as a United supporter. Oh, mate, nothing will ever top that year for me. It symbolised one of the biggest years in my life because I left home to go and live in Dublin as a teenager. And Man United, those first few months when I was, trying to adjust to a different life, Man United was just that constant thing. It was such an exciting season, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. But look, like Arch says, 2008. 2008 should have been a treble, by the way. I know we're going down history lane here, and I don't want to dwell on it for too long, but 2008, United fans always need to remember this. We should have won the treble in 2008 as well. We were robbed by a shit referee in the FA Cup against Portsmouth at Old Trafford. It was disgusting. And guess what? Guess who won the FA Cup? Bloody Portsmouth. And we were robbed. We were robbed in that game. Absolutely robbed. So we should have won the treble that year. I'm going to start the stats carousel because somebody wants to see the lineup. So let's whack that on and we'll start it up. Remember, that's sponsored by One Football. Let me just go back to the Man United team for you so you can dwell on it for a little bit longer. There it is. As you can see, De Gea in goal, Delo, Lindelof, Martinez, Luke Shaw. Sabitza's back as well with Martinez, Fred, Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford, Weghorst. And I guarantee, actually, Bruno will be playing on the right wing again. I think you're absolutely right. Hi, Mark. Been here since the video you did walking to work in the winter. Big up, mate. Love United Stan, says Nihal. I remember those morning videos, yeah. And Clay says, so happy with everything going on. Just keep winning. Thanks for keeping us up to date with everything, mate. Thank you very much, Clay. And Mark, I asked you about the Verve last month. What about the Smiths? Good band or not? Louis, I never really got into the Smiths, I must be honest, but there are some songs I like by the Smiths, but I wouldn't be into the Smiths as much as I was into the Charlatans or the Verve or Oasis or the Stone Roses. No, but I do like some of their songs, but I wouldn't be into it as much as that. Let's go to social media and let's have a look at if we can find some quotes from Erik ten Hag. I'm just having a quick look here at what might be going on. Statement from the Manchester United Supporters Trust. So should we talk about that, or do we have let's have a quick look if we've got anything from Erik ten Hag coming in here. Martinez has made a few quotes, which we might talk about in a minute. I'm just wanting to see. Harry Maguire is absent from today's match due to injury, so that has been confirmed as well. Unfortunately, we'll never get any more than that because, as we know, we never get anything more than somebody's injured. So we don't know how long he'll be out for. But will you ever bring back the call-in shows, says Ivan. Well, if you ever listen to my Mark Goldbridge show on Talk Sport, which I do at 7:30 till 9 o'clock on a Saturday, that does really well. Like, we had 7,000 on YouTube watching last night, which is massive for Talk Sport, and then loads and loads of calls coming in. So I would love to bring something like that back for the United Stand, yeah, and we're working on options on how to do that because I really do like that. But it's a little bit more technical when you're doing it as a YouTube channel, but we will sort it. Right, let's have a look at what the Manchester United Supporters Trust have said about, I'm sure many people will be very interested in this. We spent a lot of time talking about the bids for Manchester United over the last few days. We know Sir Jim Ratcliffe has bid. We know that Qatar have bid. We know that yesterday that was that American group that are willing to finance a bid, but we don't know who the bid's going to be from. But this is what Manchester United Supporters Trust are going to say, and I've not seen this, so I'm quite interested by this because there are various groups around Manchester United, journalists, ex-players, that haven't actually said anything yet. And I'm not calling people out on this because this is a very big topic, but there's a lot of people out there that are very vocal about a lot of things who've stayed very quiet on this. Now, you know, silence sometimes speaks a lot, doesn't it? So maybe they're happy, maybe they're not, I don't know. But this is what the Manchester United Supporters Trust have had to say. At the commencement of the sale process, Must was very clear about our list of asks for any new owner of Manchester United. These were to restore the club to the top of European football, invest in the teams, the wider club and the stadium, and to ensure financial stability and to work in true partnerships with fans at all times. These principles have been backed to date by 150 fan groups from across the world. The open letter to bidders is published here. Any bid will be judged against these criteria, but with the news of the specific bids coming in further considerations arise. These are questions about sporting integrity, so that's straight away they don't like Qatar, given the exceptionally close links between some bidders and the owners of other European clubs, including PSG and Nice. There are also questions about whether any bids will also be used on higher levels of debt. We also note the importance that any owner respects the rights of all people, particularly women and the LGBTQ community. Concerns have been raised by other fan groups, which we fully support. We urge all bidders to open a dialogue with fan groups alongside the bidding process with the club in order to discuss their proposals, including the above issues. Finally, everyone can see the progress in the team is making under Erik ten Hag after the frustrations of the last decade. It is clear that enormous strides are being taken. Any prospective bidder needs to explicitly come to backing Erik and his plans to restore United to glory. So look, that's quite an interesting update there. Looking at some of the replies, some people are quite happy about it. Some people are saying you don't speak for us. And I think this is the problem we've got, isn't it? You know, as much as Qatar or Sir Jim could pick up the phone to the Manchester United Supporters Trust or the Red Army or 58 or a fan forum or the United Stand, you're going to get very different opinions from very different communities. We saw on Friday that The Athletic did a poll from United fans, apparently, where only 17% wanted Qatar and 60-something% wanted Sir Jim. We've done numerous polls on numerous platforms, and it's 75% want Qatar. So, I mean, Must's membership might be very different to what ours is, and that's the thing, isn't it? I think United's fan base is very splintered. We've always had an open door policy to speak to everybody. I've had good conversations with Must in the past, and many others that wouldn't admit they've had a conversation with us because it's not cool to do it. But I have always had, grown up conversations with quite a few people. Although they think, we know what their opinion is of us, we're not proper fans, etc. Even though they're championing Sir Jim Radcliffe, who's got a Chelsea season ticket and openly admits he's got split loyalties. But that's just hypocrisy. I think the reality is we want a united fan base, and I think the issue that we've got at the moment is that we don't have a united fan base. There are people in the fan base that want to divide the fan base, and sort of make out that some people's opinions are more important than others. So look, I would welcome Qatar or Sir Jim talking to the Manchester United Supporters Trust, but do they represent everybody? Because it seems to me that, in this fan base, and it's a good time to call it out, some people aren't allowed to have a voice because certain people are bullies and think that they've got a bigger voice than everybody else. And I think that's the problem. I think it'd be interesting if Qatar or Sir Jim spoke to the Manchester United Supporters Trust, but our community wouldn't be involved in that conversation, and our community might be very different to what the other community is. However, if they wanted to speak to us, I would actually say to them, you do need to speak to Must, you do need to speak to the fans at the ground, you do need to speak to the 58 and everybody else, because you've got to include everybody in it. But my confidence in these conversations is that it's a closed shop. It's like the fan forum with the club. If you don't go to the games, you don't get spoken to by the club. You're not on a fan forum because you're not a match goer. So I think that any conversation they have with fans will always tailor and be catered to a select group of fans, and we've already seen it, haven't we? We already know a certain type of fan wants a Jim and a certain type of fan wants Qatar. The people who've got the most influence on the club, they want a Jim. That's just the way the fan base is splintered. And how you bring that together? Well, I actually think whoever the new owners are going to be, as much as people don't like it, whether it's Qatar or it's a Jim, I think actually it would be advisable to pick up the phone to the biggest independent Man United fan channel in the world, because we're not inclusive and we don't slag anybody off. At the end of the day, we're a united fan base, and you should speak to everybody. Go and speak to the normal lot and people will be excluded. We need a fast start. Can't afford to not score first. Maguire missing. Suspicious. If we win a final, hope Bruno lifts the trophy, says Daniel. No, I think he's injured, mate. He's probably been injured in training. Mark, think about it. The British media have all these rigged polls because they and the Athletic know that Qatar owner won't be media friendly, says Perth. Hi, Mark. Do you think activists fund Elliott is going to invest and take minority shares to Glazers to stay? Thank you, Sean. I'll come back to that. I've been subscribed since the Mourinho paid off my car loan and treated myself to a United Stand membership. Thanks, Tony. Just wanted to say how much I appreciate the content living outside Vancouver because no coverage locally. Yeah, well, this is what it is. It's a global fan base and everybody's welcome. Hi, Mark. I think the problem with the government ownership is that whoever is in charge now can be completely different in 5 years, says Gotten Gaines. And nice one, Nick Pope, says Tyler. Thank you very much for that. And Chris is a legend of the chat. His 50 memberships is still in there. Look, it's going to be very interesting for Manchester United, and it will get very... it's going to get... I always said it was going to be very divided. And yet, I think as a community, we've trodden a very mature path. I certainly haven't said what I want because I don't really know what I want, I'll be honest. But it makes it easier to address both sides. I've heard that certain bids are in cahoots with certain groups, and that's why they want that. That's why they want that bid. I think some people have got very genuine problems with, certain ownership types, but it's going to be interesting because I think you go back to what somebody just said there. I'm looking forward to the Qatar chapter, says Kay. And if all goes well, what are our goals for next season, says Harry? And so difficult to predict. And somebody said Gary Neville's condemned Qatar. I don't think Gary Neville's said anything. He's somebody I'm actually quite interested to hear from. I don't think he said anything on anything yet. And but in a way, I sort of understand why somebody wouldn't say something at the moment, because why bother saying something about something that might not happen? It might not happen. And I think that on the sale, and we want to talk about the game, of course, but on the sale, very interesting development yesterday about the Elliott Group, which had something to do with AC Milan, investment company, basically looking to finance a bid. So they're happy. So basically, what the Elliott Group story is, this is this American story that came out yesterday. What they are is that they've got the wealth to buy Manchester United that they're gonna give to somebody else to buy Man United. So it's a loan. It's a loan, isn't it? I don't want that. So, and how does that work? Well, how that works is that I don't want to own Man United, but I've got the money to buy it. And if someone wants to borrow that money from me, then I'm happy to lend it them at a favourable payback rate. That's what that's all about. It's what Sir Jim's apparently doing with JP Morgan and the Morgan Stanley. They're financing money so that he can buy the club, apparently. So Jim is a passionate Brexit supporter, and these top Reds would love nothing more than to close the club off from the rest of the world, says Julian. I don't want Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan anywhere near United, says the alien. And you're interested in what Neville has to say, how the tables have turned. Much love, Mr. Goldbridge, says Christian. Mate, look, I don't agree. I don't dislike or like anybody in sense of I listen to every opinion they've got. But I am always, whether I agree with it or not, I still think you can find opinions interesting. And I think there's been a lot of silence about a very big issue. So I am interested in what people have got to say. I personally, the worst thing will be if somebody is actually in part of that bid. What if there's an ex-player who's part of that bid? I think that would be really interesting then. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Hi Mark, can we play in the Champions League, says Kian. And just going back to the previous comment, I mean, it sort of fits in with what Kian said there. Thanks for the super chat, Kian. What's the aim for next season? I don't know. It's like being blindfolded and putting a pin in the map and saying that's where we're going on holiday. Who knows? You don't know who the owner's going to be. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Qatar, two very different ownership models. I think with Qatar there's going to be a load of money. With Sir Jim, I think there'll be less money, but there'll still be more money. And that has a big impact on what happens next season. Look, there's a lot of what the Manchester United Supporters Trust is saying is true. So that's in bed with a lot of what we want, isn't it? I want a lot of money spent on a new stadium, the renovation of Old Trafford, not a brand new stadium, and I want a lot of money spent on the infrastructure, the club, and the team. And we want it to be sustainable. PSG are losing 3-2 at home, says Claude. I think if Qatar get hold of PSG will become very irrelevant to Qatar very, very quickly because they'll have a much more attractive proposition. Can we start calling it the Jazim Al Thani bid? It's not coming from Qatar, but from him. We also call it the Jim bid, while we know it's from Ineos, says Luke. We can call it what you bloody well like. I mean, I'm not going to get into that. I mean, at the end of the day, I've always said that you can call it the Al Thani bid if you want, but if you know the situation in Qatar, that Qatar are buying Man United. It's just a way of doing it that people don't think that they're doing it the same way they've done PSG. I actually think it's very obvious that Qatar are buying Manchester United. However they move the money off, they are. It's a Qatar bid. I won't lie about that, whether I want it or not. I won't lie about that. For me, this is Qatar buying Manchester United. But in the same way, Sir Jim Ratcliffe owns Nice. So he's got to find a way to own Man United. I mean, this sporting integrity thing, and it's highlighted in the article by Manchester United Supporters Trust, the whole sporting integrity thing on the line that Qatar own PSG and Ineos own Nice, or Sir Jim owns Nice, there's no difference. There's only two public bids, and they're both bloody the same for me. Sir Jim owns Nice, and Qatar own PSG. They can both either not buy us because they're not allowed, or they both can buy us. The argument around that is defunct because they're either neither of them can buy us or both of them can, because they're both in a very similar position. So I don't see that argument. I don't think that argument really stacks up, because Sir Jim owns Nice in one way or another, and Qatar own PSG in one way or another. So they either both set up separate ways of doing it, which is what they will do, or neither of them can buy us. And I think actually it'll be the former, won't it? Hope you're well, loving the content as always, says Joey. What's your thoughts on Lindelof starting over Varane? I'm actually all for it, Joey. I think Victor Lindelof or Harry Maguire were always going to start today, and I think you've got to look after Rafael Varane, who we know is a player that can pick up injuries. So, we've got to protect him, and this is the perfect game to give him a bit of a rest ahead of a big game And I thought he was brilliant against Barcelona on Thursday, and we need him to be brilliant this Thursday. So I think it's Martinez didn't play on Thursday, so the opportunity to give Varane a rest is a good idea. Patrick, welcome to the Members Club. You've got to rotate. You've got to rotate where you can, and I think that's a perfect opportunity to do it. Chris says, is it possible for a club to have two stadiums? What if they built a new one and kept and renovated Old Trafford for the history of it, says Chris. You've got enough money, you can do anything, mate. I know somebody who lives in one house for 3 months of the year, and it's massive, and lives in another house for 9 months of the year in a different part of the country. I'm not going to give you their address because you'd know to burgle it. In fact, do try and burgle it because they've got a massive dog that gets fed by somebody, and they've got a really good security system. But if you've got enough money, you can have 5 houses. Be a bit weird to build a new stadium and then keep Old Trafford as a sort of museum. But I tell you what, I'd pay to go and have a game on it, wouldn't you? So you never know. United was founded by local railway workers, has become the biggest club in the world by sticking to traditional values and morals instilled by Matt Busby, says MUFC 95. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with people saying that. United have a difficult few league games. If we can stay within 3 or 4 points of our City and Arsenal by the start of April, title race is really on, says Sumya. And thank you for the super chats, by the way. Really appreciate that. And there is a lot to be said by that comment about the railway workers who formed Manchester United as well, because it's all about your morals and your integrity, isn't it? One thing, I was talking to somebody last night on the Talk Sports show, and they were saying, my issue is that Manchester United has always been about, fair play and integrity. If you become Man City, you take the cheat code, you become super wealthy, and basically then it's just about who can buy the best players in bidding wars. And I get that argument, but ultimately that's not our fault. We're not the first. People are acting like Manchester United are the first team to get wealthy owners. We're not. There's already 2 in the same league we compete in. City Group is multiple clubs as well, so I don't think owning a club currently will be an obstacle, says Lone Ranger. We've been disappointed many times over the past 10 years. I'll only be excited when Glazers officially leave, says Varun. And it's the 113th anniversary of United's first game at Old Trafford. Would be a very sad day if we've moved out of that stadium, says Joshua Bowerwater. I don't want us to move out of the stadium, and I don't think there's many people that do, but I don't want that to happen. So that's the Leicester team lining up there, as we can see. Score predictions in the chat, because we're only about 20 minutes away from the start of this game. So what's your score predictions? I've gone with a 2-0 win for Manchester United. We're very much in a title race, whether you like it or not, if we win today. So I think that get the result today. I'm not actually bothered about the performance today. As long as we get the result, I think it's one of those games where the performance is a bonus, but the result is a necessity. And the thing is, you're going to drop points, aren't you? We dropped 2 points at home to Leeds. We dropped 2 points to Palace. That's four more points we really should have had. But we can't be greedy because we've been on such a good run. But we should have had 4 more points. And when you look at our wins, there's not many. I was saying this to somebody the other day. I was having a pint down the pub, and they weren't a United fan, and I said, the funny thing is we should have 4 more points than we've got, which should put us even more in a title race. And they said, yeah, but anyone can say that because look at the games you've won that you didn't deserve to win. And I went, there isn't any. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, there isn't any. We've not had any wins lately that we didn't deserve, but we've had some draws where we should have won. So look, these results can happen. That's my point. But I think today, that's why for me, performance is secondary. It's about the result. I don't care if it's a bit of a workman-like 2-0. As long as we get the result, we move on. We focus on Thursday. I think whoever we get as owners will be successful. Just Qatar moves stronger, maybe with Americans, maybe not, says Alex. Thanks very much for that, Alex. But look, I do respect Leicester. I think they've done really well lately, and they could provide a bit of a shock. It's not a fluke to beat Spurs 4-1 and Aston Villa 4-2. Both those teams, however, whatever you think about Spurs and Villa, they're not dreadful teams. So, Nan says that should Sabitzer start over Fred against Barcelona, even though Fred played well against Barca. I think that's the challenge for Sabitzer, really, isn't it? And it's also the Ten Hag's a difficult guy to read, which is why I like him so much, because you never know who his favourites are. When Eriksen came in, you're straight in my starting lineup. When Martinez came in, you're straight in my starting lineup. When Anthony came in, you're straight in my starting lineup. When Casemiro came in, he took a bit of time, didn't he? Sabitzer, is he going to be a straight in the starting lineup Ten Hag player, or is he going to be, like you say, well, Fred's got the shirt at the moment. I don't know which way that's going to go. I think Casemiro and Sabitzer is better than Casemiro and Fred, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. Hi Mark, I'm hoping for a few goals today. The Sir Jim statement said there would be no new debt, but would he clear the existing debt, says Lee. I'm for Qatar also, as long as they do not turn us into PSG and leave Ten Hag to build the team and the future, says AJ. The bidder is super wealthy on his own. There is zero proof that has ever done anything wrong. So Jim got done for fraud, etc. It's lazy stereotyping, in my opinion, says Manchild. Thank you very much, pal. Big 2023 and the Premier League is a global league. People are acting like we are a little Newton Heath from the 1800s with Larry the local welder paying tuppence to prop the club up. It's 2023 and time to modernise, says the treble champ. Title race will always be debated, but what I'm starting to think is we may finish closer in points to first and fourth with the way teams are going, says Sean. And I think that's a great point from Sean as well. We're all obsessed with when we're going to win the league next, when will Man United be back on top, and it's absolutely important to be focused on that. But what price on progress? And I know progress isn't a word we like, or process or whatever, but if you think about the two times Man United finished second, it's Solskjaer's best season and Mourinho goes on about it. We finished second twice in the last few years. How many points, and I don't know exactly, how many points were we off first? Because we weren't in a title race. We might have finished second, but we were a bloody long. I think one of the seasons it was 20 points. So I think that's a great point. If we finish third, but we're only 8 points off first, that's better than That's better than finishing second and being 19 points off, or 20 points off. So that's something to bear in mind. And I guarantee you, Erik Ten Hag will be. He'll be like, I want to win the league, but if we're not going to win the league, I don't want to be 20 points adrift of Arsenal and Man City. I want to be as close to them as I can be. So I think that it was 19 and 12 points, says Adam. Exactly. 12 points is a lot off first place when you're second. So imagine if we finish third behind Arsenal and Man City, but we're less than 10 points off the top. That's better than finishing second. It is. It's about how far you are off first, not where you are in the league. So I think that has to be a motivator, doesn't it? It's got to be. And I think that's something we've got to look at. I do think it's going to come down to Man City and Arsenal, and I felt that all along. But it's huge credit to Manchester United and the players and the manager and the coach and his staff. It's huge credit to even be in this conversation. I don't think any of us expected it, and it's exceeding expectation. But what we've got to do, and the one thing that it's not fear, it's just that little thing in the back of my head. What if we don't win anything this year and we just come third or fourth? That'll still be good because it's Champions League football, but I really do think it's so important to win a trophy because it breeds confidence. If this team finished third this year and wins nothing, a lot of these players have already finished second, and then they've still put in bad seasons as well. I think the minute they win a trophy with Manchester United, it just gives you that belief that you can win, because third and second is not winning. Holding a winner's medal and a trophy is winning, and I think it's so important that we do win something this year, and we can do it next Sunday, of course. It's a good feeling to be considered titles contenders after almost a decade, says Aradia, but I'm just happy that we're going to definitely finish in the top four. It's not definite yet, but I think it's looking likely. Per Eric Klassen says, I've got to admit I'm a little bit nervous about today, but thank you, Mark, you're the best. So are you, pal, legend of the chat. I know that name very well, Per. Hi, Mark. Can you say hi to Ashton? We're big fans. United 2, Garnacho and Ronaldo. Cheers, mate. Lee and Ashton. Hope it's a good game. Depravka telling Newcastle on our tactics, says Jacob. And Sumya says, I just fear it will be impossible to keep up in the league race if we progress in the Europa League because of fixture congestion. Well, we're all waiting for that, but at the moment we're defying the odds, aren't we? Chris S, welcome to the members club as well. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not, the thing is, it's not like we're not picking up the injuries, is it? We are picking up injuries, and yet the performances are still continuing. It's absolutely fantastic, absolutely incredible, Mark. It's absolutely fantastic that we are able to fire on all fronts. I mean, we're approaching March, and it's not like I or anybody else was wrong. We did say that that we would pick up injuries and it would be a big problem for us this season and we would start to drop points. We have picked up the injuries. Van der Beek, Eriksson, Anthony, Martial, McTominay, Maguire, all in Delow, all in the last few weeks. We're picking up the injuries, but we're not dropping the points. And that, again, people are saying Bruno Fernandes is a monster, but Marcus Rashford stayed fit. Erik ten Hag has kept the team doing well. So I think it's really interesting to just see how things are moving along and how long it can keep going. Great stuff. Ten Hag has had a few things to say. Harry Maguire is injured. That's what he said about Harry Maguire. Nothing more, nothing less. But he's got a few comments here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. These are the quotes from Erik ten Hag. Basically... what we've got going on here is we don't watch Manchester City. It's about us, our performance. You have to perform every time, be ready for every game, and we see our position at the end. You have to be better than the game previously. On Wout Weghorst, I think he brings a lot to the team. From the moment he came, the attacking line is more dynamic and even better at pressing. So I think we improved our game from the moment he came in. Harry Maguire is injured. Nothing more than that. You'll never get anything more than that. And the players are ready. They're training well. We're in 4 competitions, so everyone has to be ready because we need everyone. And on the return of McTominay, every player counts. I think we have the busiest schedule in Europe, so we need everyone, and this lineup shows that. Oh, God. It's tiring when he starts talking about 4 competitions, but it's great. It's great. It's absolutely great. Incredible scenes in Paris, by the way. Technical director Louis Campos has left the stands and is currently shouting to his own players from the sideline with the manager behind him. This is the problem. This is the problem. We cannot be run like PSG. We cannot be run like... If Qatar get hold of Man United, in whatever form it is, it could be really, really interesting, and obviously a lot of people want it, but we cannot be owned like PSG, where effectively the ownership and the running of the club is not about what the manager wants. It's about Galactico-style running with too many people having too many opinions, and the manager's got to be allowed to manage. Nick Pope is a legend, says Alligator. And excited for the game today, hoping for a stellar Nacho performance and obviously a good one for everyone else. Love the show, says Sam. Thanks for tuning in, mate. What do you think of Pope missing the final mark, says Jared? I've got no sympathy, really. I lie, I have got a bit of sympathy, but it was a red card, and I find it funny, I think I think it's the old English bias again, isn't it? Which I constantly seem to be talking about. Nick Pope nailed on red card. And people are going, oh, it's a shame. It's such a shame. It's a shame he's going to miss the final. And I'm like, hold on a minute. Casemiro got a 3-match ban for adjusting Will Hughes' collar. And nobody felt sorry for him for that. What's his face was saying on TalkSport was saying he should go to prison for it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So I don't have a lot of sympathy because I think losing Casemiro for us, thankfully, hasn't lost us any points, although we didn't have him for the Leeds home game, did we? And we dropped 2 points. I don't think that would have happened with Casemiro. So ultimately, imagine if we didn't win the league by 2 points. I'm blaming the FA. The Glazers are staying in ownership and making Cameron Jerome a 350k a week signing in the summer. They're playing us along, says Phil. And thank you to Sam and Phil there. And also, what do you think of Pope missing the final? That's from Jared. I've done that one as well. Thanks everyone for all the super chats as well. Score predictions. Do you recommend? I'm not. Oh yeah, Jake. Yeah, I'm not going to do the cider joke again. You're not going to catch me out on that. I did get caught out by a Leicester fan yesterday on That's Football, though. By the way, Harry Maguire should be starting, says Pipe. He's injured. He's injured, mate. He can't start if he's injured. That can't happen. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're closing in on 600,000, 1.6 million to be fair. But make sure you subscribe, get involved with that United Stand. We are live every morning at 10 o'clock, every night at 8 o'clock, and we are currently only 300 subscribers away from 589,000. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the channel. You're all very, very welcome. We are getting very close to the start of the game. What did you have for lunch, Mark? I tell you what, I had a very good lunch. If anybody's interested in this, I had homemade chili, which has got chorizo in it, and beef, and kidney beans, etc. Lovely. Jacket potato, overcooked in the oven, so it's really nice and crispy. Cheese to sprinkle on the top, homemade coleslaw and sour cream. Absolutely fantastic. And a pint of whiskey. No, I didn't really. I've just had water. Saying hi from Singapore, says Dan. Great content. Thought you seemed to have grown more white hair since the early days. Hope we win. Keep up the good work. Mate, that's just age. You know, some people think it's grey. Some people think it's just, you know, I've got, you know, blonde highlights because I used to have blonde hair when I was younger. It's definitely grey, but I'm growing old gracefully. But I had a friend who was grey, like Fabrizio Ravanelli at 31. Any bets on what the Maguire injury is? My girlfriend's bet is his pride, and I can't really argue with that, says Brandon. Oh, you know what? I really did think Maguire was going to start today, so I'm really not in the mood to sort of criticise Harry. I don't think he played that well against Leeds last week. I think we'll be better with Lindelof, but what I would say is Lindelof isn't not prone to making mistakes as well. So there we go. James, you've just been blocked for being a racist. Goodbye. For one, right, I will call this out because racism is not acceptable. So we've had somebody do a super chat there who combines the words, well, I'm not even going to use the words, to try and make me say a racist word, right? You're an idiot because I've got an admin now who will check out where that money's coming from and let YouTube know about it with a screenshot. So you're an idiot anyway, and I hope you get what you deserve. But also, imagine if I wasn't switched on and I'm halfway through something and I read it and then I say that word. You're basically trying to, you know, ruin my life through a joke that's not even funny. Trying to get somebody to say a racist word by putting two names together. You're an absolute fool. And you might be sat there feeling happy for yourself, but everybody thinks you're an absolute cretin. Is that how you want to live your life? Trying to do funny jokes where everyone thinks you're an absolute waste of space? Have a word with yourself, or even better, have a word with somebody else who explains to you what a complete and utter fool you are doing something like that. And I tell you what, I hope you do get a knock on the door. And actually, I hope you've used your mum's credit card or something like that. Because when she gets a knock on the door from the police for a racist thing that you've just paid to do on a social media platform like YouTube, you're going to shit yourself. So, and I'm sorry to take a minute or two to focus in on that, but it's racist and you've paid to do it. You're a bloody idiot because however you've paid to do it, there's a credit card attached to it or there is a bank card. So you're a bloody idiot. Absolute idiot. Anyway, we'll move on. Tyler, who has done a super chat, says, can we get iShow Speed Watchalong one day, says Tyler. I haven't heard from him in ages. Is he still doing content? This week is... I thought he'd given up now that Ronaldo had gone. This week is probably the biggest since Jose was in charge. A must-win game to extend the gap to fourth and boost the momentum ahead of Barcelona and Brandon. There's two ways of looking at this game today. You know, you're right. There's two ways of looking at it. I think some people would look at it as, let's keep the momentum going. We're playing really well. Let's get into this title race, even though we're outsiders. Some people, and I'd agree with this, you know, another 3 points in relation to the top four race, it just takes us away from everybody else. Just take it game by game, says Dean, and let's see what happens. So looking forward to a cup final we're actually in. And Maguire is a Stegosaurus, takes L's every game, says KM. I think you have to take it game to game, and I think we are taking it game to game because you have to. We're playing a Premier League game today. I mean, this is our last Premier League game for 2 weeks. We got Leicester, and then we've got Europa League Barca, what a game. Carabao Cup final, Newcastle, what a game. Then we've got West Ham, FA Cup, and then we've got Liverpool in the Premier League. So very important to get the result. Very, very important to get the result. I'm a big supporter, says Philip. I just wanted to say hi and let's win today. Thank you very much, Philippe. Love it. Thanks everyone who's getting involved. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. You're all very, very welcome. We're getting very close to kick-off here. I love from the travelling red, only home from Barca yesterday, says Poddy. Mate, I've got some mates who are in Barcelona. I tell you what, I know people say, why don't you go to games? And some people do it in an affectionate way and some people do it to try and be an arse. But let's be honest, I don't get to go to many games at all. We've got a huge show, which obviously there's about 30,000 people watching now. Sometimes it goes up to 50, 60, 100,000 people. It's a big show that people enjoy. And yes, I could go to games, but ultimately there wouldn't be a watch-along that people like. So that's the choice I make. One day I'll get back to going to games, but one game I did. I mean, Adam was there and Charlie was there on Thursday in the new camp. That was one game I looked at and I was like, yeah, I wish I'd gone to that, because it's just a magical stadium, magical place. But some people had some horrific journeys back. A couple of mates I know who they had to fly into Bristol via Gatwick or something like that. So I suppose at the end of the day, mate, it was a classic game. Take solace in that, but I'm glad you're back safe. And well, anyone realised every time Maguire gets dropped he has an injury? Please no to having high show speed on, says Luke. And would you play Rashford off the left or the right? Keep up the good work. I think he'll be playing down the middle today, Ben. I think he will. Matt says, let's get a big 3 points today. Been watching for a long time. Keep up the good work, mate. Thank you very much, Matt Maloney. And love the show. Ten Hag has finally got us playing in a way we look forward to watching week in, week out, says 8. Look, I feel like we haven't really spoken a lot about Leicester, who are on the screen, and we're not going to. That's not a little lead in to talk about Leicester. I think we will win, and I think that we'll have too much quality for them because they'll give us possession. That's what Leicester do. However, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that they come and give us a tough game today. They've won their last two, and they've scored a lot of goals. They've been very clinical. Their front four has been very mobile, and I think that's why he's picked Luke Shaw today as well, because he could have picked Malacia, but I think he's gone for Luke Shaw just to add a little bit more security down that left-hand side with Tete, who's been very, very good for them. So I think that's probably why he's bringing Luke Shaw in, just for that extra security, because Luke Shaw's a very, very, very important player for us, as we know. Let me just sort this out. Okay, and I think we're ready to go. We are only 3 minutes away from the start of this game. It's funny, I don't feel like we're only 3 minutes away because I've got Sky on and they've just had the Motherwell game on, so I haven't had all the pre-match shit. We've just had 10 memberships gifted by Jack. Thank you very much, Jack. Thank you, everyone in the chat who's got that. Well done. Mark's also a new member. Welcome to the club. Man like Mark, imagine if we won all 4 competitions, says Hassan. We'd love it. We'd bloody love it. I still stand by the fact that top 4 and a trophy is a fantastic first season, and you know, reset. I'm all about the resets. When we bought Mourinho in, it was 3 years since we'd won, 4 years since we'd won the league, and I was like, as long as we win the league and reset it, you don't want to go 10 years without a title. Well, we've gone 10 years without a title. I don't know what anybody else thought, but when Sir Alex Ferguson retired and he was on Old Trafford with the Premier League trophy, if somebody'd say to me, you won't win a Premier League title in the next 10 years. In fact, you won't be anywhere near a Premier League title for 10 years. I don't know what I would have thought. That glimpse into the future, I do not know what I would have thought. I'd have gone, 10 years? You having a laugh? No, 10 years and you won't be anywhere near winning one either. You won't even be in a race for 10 years. I'd have been like, what? So, you know, I don't want to forget what it's like to win titles. I want to get back winning them. But in honesty, it'd be amazing to win it this year, but I really cannot acknowledge that it's possible until it's a reality, I suppose. Would you take Mbappe at Man United, says Jake? I mean, there's probably been times when I said I wouldn't, but he is probably the best player in the world. Man like Mark, right, we've done that one from Hassan. So yeah, we're about 2 minutes away from the start here. It's very important that we're in the Champions League next year. Yes, it is. Colin says it's spot on. It's been a tough 10 years. It has been a tough 10 years. It really has. But I think on the other hand, it feels like it's gone quick in a way, if that's ever possible. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Surfshark. Link is in the video description, and you can scan the QR code there. Surfshark is a VPN, virtual private network, so you can surf the internet without them knowing your location or getting access to your private details or anything like that. You can get 3 months for free, so it's well worth trying. 3 months for free, link in the description, or scan the QR code with the code United Stand. Surfshark, absolutely fantastic. 3 months free and 83% off. Give it a go. Really good for location-specific streaming services as well. If you're in one country and you want to say you're in another country, so like if you're in America and you want to use your UK Netflix, you can say you're in London, etc. So works really well like that. We should be about ready to go here. 1:59. Mark, everybody's talking about this week after the final. We play again on Wednesday in the FA Cup. Surely if we win, players might be hungover. Probably we might have to play the kids in the FA Cup. I think we definitely end up rotating against West Ham after the Carabao Cup. Definitely. But look, that's so far off. It's hardly even worth talking about, is it? We go with what we've got today. Referee's about ready to start here. Let me get the timer ready, which is going to be next to my finger here. Rashi's kicking it off. Bruno normally kicks it off. Bruno's playing on the right wing again, 100%. So Weghorst is playing as 10, and Bruno's on the right wing with Rashford playing down the middle. You know what? I love Ten Hag. I love what's going on with Manchester United, but I don't like Bruno on the right wing. What does anybody else think about that? I really do not like Bruno playing off the right. I like him playing as the 10. But Weghorst is playing as the 10 today, and Rashford plays down the middle. Would you say Neymar, says Max? Neymar's a bit different than Mbappe, isn't he? You know, in a couple of years' time, do you think we'll go after De Ligt, says Twitch Zero? I think anyone with a Dutch passport that's decent, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. I don't think it will be a reason that we don't win today, but I much prefer Bruno playing off the 10. I think, you know, he's out of the game. Obviously we don't have Anthony, and Bruno's got a good cross on him. But we're up and running here. We just had a minute already. Quite a quick start by Manchester United. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. United with a chance to put a cross in here. Luke Shaw with the cross. Headed away. Garnacho, and we'll just keep possession here. Got to be careful of Leicester on the break. Very, very efficient and clinical on the break this season. I really want to get a good look at Sabitzer today as well. Nice ball out to Luke Shaw. Needs an overlap from Delo. Gets it. Delo, come on. Plenty of time to put the cross in. Headed away well by Leicester. They're going to put their bodies on the line, of course. And this is where Leicester could be interesting, but Lindelof does really well. Martinez into Shaw. And Luke Shaw does really well as well in the right back position. Delo back in the team as well. Big fan of Delo. Has looked a little bit rusty lately, but good to have him back. Good tempo from United here. Bruno in the 10 role. And in goes Fred, but a bit of a heavy touch. Good start by United this. Nice tempo. Can't wait to see Casemiro and Sabitzer in the same team. I mean, Sabitzer is playing the Casemiro role. Fred's playing his normal role. We're not playing with a 2, we're playing with a 1. So Sabitzer's actually playing the CDM role here. Remember against Leeds, we played the 2. He's playing a little bit more deep. Weghorst. Oh, terrible. It's interesting what Ten Hag said about Weghorst, though, isn't it? I think, obviously I watched the games. B9, welcome to the Members Club. I watched the games, and I don't think Weghorst has really done much with the ball, but it's interesting what Ten Hag says about the work he puts in off the ball, and we know that. You know, he does put a lot of work in. Time says a lot higher ball tempo already with Lindelof instead of Maguire. Yeah, he is more mobile. We will play a higher line with Lindelof. He's more progressive, isn't he, Lindelof? Good play by Martinez there. Let's go, lads, says Morgan. I need a stretch. I definitely do need a stretch. Already. My back's playing up today. And I don't know why anymore. By the way, if you want to get one of these hoodies, we do sell them. United Stand Shopify. I don't know whether we've got the link in the video description, but they do ship worldwide. Check it out. Here's Fred, and he's been found as well. Referee says play on. Who's the referee? Who is he? Who are ya? Give me the name of the referee. Ricky thinks Veghorst is the best thing since sliced bread, says Red. Well, it's not like Ricky to have an out-of-the-box take, is it? Ricky will like Veghorst because he puts a lot of work in. Here's Rashford, good block. And another corner. Stuart Prattwell. Ref is Kevin Friend. Bogey team Leicester, says Kenneth. I don't think Leicester are a bogey team for us, are they? Another corner for Man United. It's a good start to have 2 corners in the first 5 minutes. That's deep. Sabitzer knocks it back, and Leicester will clear. Nice ball in. Ooh, could do with an. You know what? As I say, it's always nice to score an early goal for United, but it's very important to score the first goal. Leicester will give us a lot of possession. I said this in the preview. Even though they beat Villa, even though they beat Spurs, they didn't have more possession than either of those teams. So you will get the possession against Leicester. You've got to be careful about them on the break. Luke Shaw's everywhere, says Andrew. Mark, quick poll on your favourite Man United player celebration. Really appreciate you and the team. We played the games, says Matt. Matt, you completely misread the room there. If you want to tell us your favourite Man United player celebration in the chat, crack on. I'd rather go for a crap. I've got no interest in celebrations. It doesn't bother me. I like the ball hitting the back of the net. That's my celebration. Years ago, I did used to be interested in it. I used to like the Lee Sharp celebrations, but I've got no interest in anybody's celebration. I mean, I used to like Ronaldo, but that was sort of a legacy thing. It's a young man's game, celebrations. With my back, I can't replicate any of them anyway. So 6 minutes gone, United 0-0, but it's been a good start. But Leicester's game is about this, a 3v3. We've got to be careful. It's a 4v3 if they get the cross right. Sabitzer's back. Good defending by Sabitzer. But they're still in with the attack. Good block by Martinez. Come on. Get hold of the ball. Calm. That's it. Delo's got it now. He's gone for a worldy ball there. Yeah, I like Casemiro's celebration against Chelsea. Whoa, what a game that was as well. You know what? Jan, welcome to the Members Club. We have had some cracking games this season. I loved the Barcelona game on Thursday, despite the fact that we should have won. What a game that was. But that Chelsea late equaliser was brilliant, wasn't it? What a game that was. Leicester having a bit of an attack here. They will have attacks. Alex says, the United Stand's giving me the sense of being part of the community and it's so powerful what you've created here. Great, Alex. I'm glad it works. This system is just so fluid and it's lovely to watch, says Sam. Yeah, I think we've definitely started off with the intention of... Oh, Fred just giving Leicester the ball here. Harvey Barnes into Iheanacho. Back into Harvey Barnes. What's... a save by David De Gea. Bloody hell. That's world class. I thought they were going to score. He's through one-on-one. One-on-one Harvey Barnes. World class De Gea, that is. That is world class. Nobody's telling me anything different. That is a magnificent save. It really is. Big hand. Harvey Barnes is through one-on-one. And to get a hand that strong and push it away, magnificent. Because you're basically stretching yourself out, but you've got to put your power through your wrists and your hands. You know, you put your hands out and someone smacks it. gives you a high five, your hand goes back, doesn't it? He's kept his hand firm there that the power of the ball won't deflect into the goal. Brilliant save. And they've just headed it over the bar there. Suter from Leicester. But they should be 1-0 up, and that's exactly what Leicester do. We've had 7 minutes of possession. Bang, 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 clinical on the break. And Leicester should have been 1-0 up. It's a brilliant save by David De Gea. And we could have been 1-0 down. They counter very, very well, and they're very clinical, Leicester. And that's where their success has come from in the last 2 games. And that's a warning for us, really. And I've seen a couple of balls from the fullbacks. Delo and Luke Shaw are a little bit wasteful. We've got to keep the possession here. Hitting a bit too many long balls. That's a nice ball to Bruno. Cross comes in. Rashford, good tackle by Faith. The speed will be a problem. We don't have a lot of pace at the back centrally. Sit down, Beth, said somebody there. This is Colin. Well, you know, the De Gea thing just doesn't make any sense to me, but I have to be respectful of people who want us to change the goalkeeper. They spend so much time. I mean, look, that ball by De Gea there is very good, but Weghorst can't win it. So people will say, oh, it's another wasted pass by David De Gea. But Weghorst should win that. It's you know, he's 6'6", and it's up to him, and he won't win it. He can't win it. But ultimately for me, look, that ball by De Gea is winnable by Weghorst, and he doesn't fucking win it, and therefore we're on the attack. I just wouldn't hit any long balls to Weghorst. He never bloody wins it. But look, as I say, distribution's important in the modern game. But what's more important than saving one-on-one shots that stop you going 1-0 down? And I don't think there's many goalkeepers better in the world. So yeah, look, it's great to be able to distribute out from the back. But is there many goalkeepers that are going to save the saves that he makes? No. So I just don't think you can argue with that, really. I don't understand why Weghorst doesn't win headers. It's like nobody's told him he's 7 foot. He's just not very good at it. He's not very good at it. I don't know why. Somebody said that to me before we bought him. Although he's tall, he's not actually that good in the air. Yeah, we do miss Casemiro, but we should still have enough to... Look, Leicester have had a good couple of chances there. We've just got to get our composure and create some chances ourselves. Somebody says, why can't we have a goalkeeper who does both? Tell me a goalkeeper that's as good as De Gea who can play for Man United week in, week out and save shots like he does, but he's also brilliant with distribution. And you'll start talking to me about Sanchez at Brighton and Porto's goalkeeper, and I'll say to you straight away, but I've seen these goalkeepers come to United and completely flop because the enormity of the job, it's a different thing to be a Brighton goalkeeper and a Man United goalkeeper. I'm a firm believer in if it ain't broken, why fix it? I think there's far more important areas to sort out than the goalkeeper, and 100% we're 1-0 down if you haven't got a goalkeeper like De Gea. Here's Luke Shaw, goes for a shot. That'll be another corner surely. No, Garnacho keeps it in. Worry about this centre-back chemistry, says Thomas. I think if you take Varane out, you're always going to be a little bit vulnerable. I don't think we would have been any better with Harry Maguire today than we are with Lindelof. I would always prefer Lindelof to Maguire because it's a little bit more mobile and the line will be a little bit higher. Chance creation is the big thing. Here's Garnacho. Nicely slipped into Fred, who wasn't a great pass to be honest, but Garnacho gets it back. Nice ball into Weghorst. His passing is not great, is it? Hard to believe we still have De Gea because the Navas deal fell through. Worked out better for us, says Christian. Callum welcomes the Members Club as well. Thoughts on the first few minutes here? Could have been 1-0 down, but United with more possession. I just think we need to open up a few chances here. 13 minutes gone, not really tested their goalkeeper yet. Weghorst was dropped after a few games at Burnley by Deitch and was sent on loan by Company. Will the United director's drunk loaning him, says 58. Go. Well, I think it was a Ten Hag choice, mate. I don't think the directors of Man United would have thought about Weghorst. I think that was Ten Hag's choice. It's just frustrating he doesn't jump, even though he's 6'7", says Alex Scott. I do like him. Keep up the great work. I like Weghorst, but he's limited, isn't he, Alex? I think everybody knows that. He's just flicked a header on there. Got to score the first goal though. Leeds a couple of weeks ago, very similar to Leicester. If they get the first goal at Old Trafford, you're confident, you're galvanised, you've got a harder job. You know, it'd be nice to get an early goal, but ultimately, as long as it's 0-0 and we score the first goal in the last 10, I don't care. You've got to score the first goal. Oh, you can't let it bounce there. Fred's... Oh, good job that Tete didn't see Maddison, but he's still there. Good cross. Well done, Fred. Done a great job there, Fred, because that cross was coming into the back post for a tap-in for Maddison. I mean, Martinez is wrong there. He can't let that bounce. You cannot let it bounce as a centre-back. And Tete basically stands him up, puts a good cross in, and Fred does a good job. Good defensive work from Fred there, because it would have been a tap-in for Maddison on the back post. I mean, he's got, you'd expect him to get a foot on it, but to put it out for the corner as well. So another corner for Leicester, and could be an area of strength for them. That Suter's bloody massive. How big's that Suter? It's huge. He's massive. .7". Why is Weghorst not marking him? Why is Luke Shaw marking Suter? Is a Maguire regen? He looks bigger than Maguire to me. Weghorst looks like he can only score by accident, like me at school when I was getting chased by a bee just after half time, says MB. Thank you very much for the super chat, pal. Well, Leicester just growing in confidence in this game, and United just losing their way. We're not really building any patterns at the moment. It's going to be tough, says Jay. We do miss Casemiro. We miss Varane as well, but we really miss Casemiro. There's Garnacho. Done well. That's it. Keep the ball. Keep the ball. Nice ball out by De Gea. Refused the pass from Martinez. That was a good ball by De Gea, because the easy pass was Martinez, and he went for the more risky pass to Luke Shaw. I like to see that from a goalkeeper. And it's not really something that De Gea gets a lot of credit for. But Leicester have won it back in the midfield. I feel like Leicester I don't know about you, I feel like Leicester are starting to get hold of the midfield a little bit here. Rashford's looking out of the game. Ethan, well, he's in the graveyard shift, isn't he? I like the fact that Rashford can score goals down the middle, but I much prefer Rashford. It's like Bruno. I don't like Bruno on the right. I prefer him at number 10, although he can do a good job off the right, and I much prefer Rashford off the left. But it's Leicester on the attack again here. Tete. Suter looking like a blonde Maguire, says Anonymous A. Varane's being rested, Alfred. Exciting player, this Tete. He's Brazilian, isn't he? He's miles off with his shot, but there we go. Fred's crap first touch there. And he's won a foul. And I tell you what, David De Gea says sorry for passing the ball to Fred, because actually I will give De Gea a bit of shit there, because you don't pass Fred the ball with his back to goal. You hit it long. was just struggling to get on the ball here. Here's Fred. Too many long balls. Completely lost our way in the last 10 minutes. We're just not having any good possession at all. We just can't get hold of the ball. Leicester's growing into the game, that's for sure. I don't think Weghorst as a 10 is working, is it? He's too slow. I mean, I don't know what the alternative is. I mean, get Bruno in the middle. Bruno on the right wing. Go on, Martinez. Yeah, we're starting to, you know, it's interesting with the stats. We have got the better possession, but I can see that coming down. 56% at the moment. But Leicester are in again down the right-hand side. Mark your men. Great save by De Gea again. Bloody hell. Another cracking save by De Gea. That's going in. That's 2. Another cracking save by De Gea. Could be 2-0 down. This is a great save as well. He's got to get down low and claw it out. Not an easy save that. Watch this. Position's good. Header's good. Claws it out from reaching behind. Delow's positioning's not good. Another good save by De Gea. But United are on the ropes here for some reason. For me, Weghorst is not working as a 10. And he's just lost the bloody ball again as well, for fuck's sake. He's a bloody knight. He's a passenger at the moment. He can't press from the front when we've not got the bloody ball to press. I mean, I feel sorry for the lad. He's a striker playing as a bloody number 10. Love Ten Hag, but surely he shouldn't be moving his 2 best attackers, Bruno and Rashi, to get Weghorst in the team. Would we not be better with them in their position, says Luke Darling. At the moment, the big problem is Weghorst in the midfield. We're getting overrun and he's so slow. Every time he takes a touch, they're on him. Too slow to play as a number 10, I'm afraid. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Should be 1-0 down, at least. They've had the 2 best chances of the game. They've had a couple of half chances as well. We've not tested their goalkeeper yet, have we? No shots on target for us. Exactly. It's a shame because we started off quite well the first 5 minutes. We're so flimsy in the defence. No one's tracking. No one's putting a tackle in, says Nico. Well, Rashford's in a bloody graveyard shift. Bruno's playing on the right wing, which is not his best position. Weghorst, it's like playing Harry Maguire at number 10 at the moment. And Sabitzer and Fred are getting overrun. I mean, look at how many players they've got in their midfield. They're playing basically a narrow 5. And we're just resorting to long balls. I mean, where's the pass for De Gea here? People are going to moan about that distribution, which was actually quite good. But he's having to go long because there's no short pass. And we lose it again. I'd be looking to make a tactical change here because it's absolutely inevitable that they're going to score. Good tackle, Delo. But look at this, Fred, with all this space and there's nothing on. There's nothing on. Bruno, what's he trying to do there? Some sort of ridiculous pass. They're bullying us at the moment. Atop says, surely Ten Hag sees it. Oh, he'll see it. He'll see it more than us. Got to hang in this game here and try and make some changes, really. De Gea, but De Gea is washed. Made 2 amazing saves to keep his level, says Ivan. We definitely need a backup CDM for Casemiro because Fred's not it. Oh, they're coming forward again here, Leicester. It goes past Luke Shaw. No, good play, Luke Shaw. Honestly, I feel like they're tired. We are sluggish. Well, Angry Brits, right. We are going to be tired. There's no doubts about that. We're very weird defensively, says Simon. Martinez is slotting in at CDM and Shaw is going into centre-back. It's weird and I don't like it. Thanks for the super chats there. I mean, De Gea's just having to hit all these long balls. That's a good long ball again. But where is he heading that to? There, it's a free header. He's got Bruno and Rashford and he heads it to a Leicester player. Here we go. Rashford's offside, surely. Rashford's through. He's going to take it on. Shoot. Goal! 1-0 to Manchester United. I'm not sure whether he's offside or not, but we'll take the goal against the run of play. He does the celebration, and I think Manchester United have a lead here. And what a huge goal this will be against the run of play. If Marcus Rashford's been picked out and they're celebrating, I think this is a goal. We don't get it on the camera angle. He looked like he could have been in an offside position, but Bruno... Oh, he's on. He's miles on. 1-0 to Manchester United. Ballon d'Or candidate Marcus Rashford. He could have played the sweat. He looked to play the sweat. He didn't play the sweat. 1-0. We'll take that. We will take that. Big, big goal. After that start, we will definitely take that. And Marcus Rashford, who's had nothing to do, just shows his finishing prowess to make it 1-0. And Ten Hag he'll know that we've had a bit of a lucky break there, but you need it. What did I say before the game? It's not about performance today, it's about the result. It's about the result. And he was miles onside as well. But it is about scoring first, and it is about the result. He's got 23 goals this season already, and it's his best scoring season. Never in doubt. Bruno with the assist as well. Bruno's pass was unbelievable, says Carl. I actually thought he was going to be offside, but the angle of the TV didn't make it easier. Ballon d'Or candidate, says Jeannie. Well, I keep saying this and I got laughed at. Let's go. Rash is the man, says Chris. Look, you know what? Let's break this down in the most simplest way ever. Let's analyse this game for dummies, right? We're winning this game because we've got world-class individuals on the pitch at the moment. Marcus Rashford takes the chance, Bruno takes the chance to assist, and David De Gea makes 2 world-class saves. Are we the better team? No. Are we the winning team at the moment? Yes. Because sometimes it's just about quality in certain areas of the pitch. You're clinical when you get your chance, Rashford. You take the opportunity to make a good chance, Bruno, and you make 2 brilliant saves, De Gea, and then you're 1-0 up. It's a bit of a smash and grab so far. It is a bit about moments, but sometimes in a season like this, you're not going to play well every single game when you're playing every 3.5 days. Sometimes it's about the result and not the performance. It's exactly what I was talking about before the game. I'll take a result over a performance today. The performance to me doesn't matter as long as we win. The performance on Thursday in the new camp was brilliant. That ball from Bruno is ridiculous, says Ronan. Might be getting a yellow card there, Bruno. Moments FC is back at it. What do people say about winning a title and winning trophies? Winning when you're not playing well is an art form. Have we played well for 25 minutes? No. Are we 1-0 up? Yes. Do we deserve to be 1-0 up? Yes. And this is the great thing about football. This is why it's the beautiful game. Because we're not the better team, but we deserve to be winning. No one can say we don't deserve to be winning. Good assist, good goal, world-class saves. Leicester might be the better team, but they don't deserve to be winning. That ball from Bruno, Ronan, thank you very much. Don't forget De Gea saves. We won't be forgetting De Gea's saves, Carter. We could have been 2-0 down. But we've got to be careful. Leicester aren't going to stop. They might be more angry. They might get angry now. Rashi's the man, says Chris. Is Weghorst a 10 a symptom of Ten Hag wanting Rashford at striker or only trusting Bruno to cover right wing with Anthony out, says Alec? I think it's a symptom of... Lovely ball by Bruno, by the way. What an assist. I think it's a symptom of not trusting Weghorst as the striker. Not having anybody else other than Rashford. And then if you move Rashford from the wing, you're going to play 2 very inexperienced wingers, aren't you? So, and Bruno, oh, that's a bad pass, that. Rashford, PFA Player of the Year, even though it's only February, says Clayton Plays. I've never put Rashford in PFA Player of the Year. I've always said Odegaard or Haaland, but I'll tell you what, Martinez has been a bit sloppy. I know we love Martinez. I mean, I've got my jumper on, but he has been a bit sloppy today. He's immune to criticism because he's a fan favourite, but he has been a bit sloppy today, Martinez, which is why he needed to play. Rashi has changed ever since Benny McCarthy came in, says Duelation. And clearly Rashford drinks his sneak before every game, says Sean C. Long way to go. Andre says, don't get ahead of yourselves. There's a long way to go, and Leicester no doubt will have another way. Boring football from United Moments FC. Mate, come on. NA, come on. David De Gea is sitting Beth down, says Damo. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock on the United Stand. Big news going on at the moment. Loads of big games. Also the sale of United. Lots to get involved in. Get involved with the community. Subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Another good ball out from De Gea, having to hit it long. And just shows what a difference it makes when you keep possession from the back. Here we go. Luke Shaw into Weghorst. Can he do anything with it? Into Bruno. Got to go, wow, Bruno, sloppy there. And now Leicester are coming away again. They transition well, Leicester, from back to front. That's a nice ball out to Maddison. Stand it. Go on, Lindelof, make the tackle. Lay off. Just wide. Played well, Leicester. They were 1-0 down. They were 1-0 down to Spurs and they still won. They were behind to Villa twice at Villa Park and they still won. Don't write them off. They're very good on the break at the moment. Rashi in the 18th area, says Grant. Sanjay says, smile Goldbridge, we're doing fine, fam. They do break really quickly, Abdul. The run from Rashford was world class, but it was this. If this was last year, he would have been offside, says Glazers out. Mark Sabitza's doing simple things well, says Andy. I think he's had a very underrated performance, Sabitzer. It's such a hard job to do a Casemiro job when it's not really a possession. Thanks for gifting a membership, Adam. Is it just me or the way we are trying to play today really needs a proper CDM? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Alexander. I mean, I think Sabitzer has done a really intelligent job out of position. The funny thing about Sabitzer is we've not actually seen him play in his best position yet, because every game he's had to play for us so far, he's had to fill in, you know, I don't think him and Casemiro have played together yet, have they? Did he play against Palace, Sabitzer? Come on as a sub, maybe? Yeah, come on as a sub, didn't he? So they've not started a game together yet. I like Sabitzer though. He's got that quality about him, hasn't he? He's got that calmness. Interested to see how we start the second half, says Lee. Garnacho there. Half an hour gone. Time for a stretch. Oh, yes. I've got a really bad back today. Oh. The symptoms are more that our wingers and creatives don't seem to see Veggie, but they notice Rashi. Practice with Veggie would help us. It's a split-second thing, says SK. And maybe De Gea and Beth just need to sit down over a coffee and hash it out, their issues, says Stephen. Here's Bruno. Nice little ball wide to Delo. Where's the movement? He's gone for an early cross there. There was not getting through. Just a little bit of a reminder. I put it in the live chat, pinned it. We're on tour in the March international break. We've still got tickets available for Manchester and London. If you want to come to it, live United Stand show, get your tickets. Manchester and London are great places to visit if you don't live there anyway. Get your tickets, live chat in the March international break. We're already doing Dublin twice. They're sold out, but we have still got some tickets in London and Manchester. It'll be great to see you. And it'll be a very interactive live show. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So if you want to get your tickets, it's in the live chat there. Get them while you can. Philip Y says, thank you, Adam. Thoughts on Sancho at 10? I think Sancho can play at 10. I mean, the fact that Weghorst is playing as a number 10, I think anybody can play as a number 10. But I prefer Bruno at 10 and Sancho on the wide. Harrison says, hi Mark, been watching a while now. We've had it rough recently. Hopefully I'll get to celebrate a title or the Champions League with you soon. Harrison, I would love it. Here's Bruno. into Rashford. He's overhit that, but Rashford's so fast he'll keep it and actually kicks it out for a throw-in. Ahmed likes the hoodie. You can get it delivered, Ahmed. It's in the live chat. United Stand Shopify. Second paragraph. United Stand Shopify. It's in the video description. Or you can just type in United Stand Shopify on Google. We do ship worldwide. Got a lovely new Casemiro one, which I've not actually had delivered yet. But this one's lovely. That's like doing some press-ups. Oh, yeah. But I think Martinez has looked a bit rusty today, so it'd be good. It's good for him to get a bit of game time ahead of Thursday. God, the atmosphere on Thursday night at Old Trafford is going to be unbelievable, by the way. Proper European night, under the lights. Nathan says, I predicted 2-2. This game is open for both teams. Our midfielders have more holes than the Swiss cheese, says Nathan. I don't know why I was talking like that, but there's more holes than the Swiss cheese. I said 2-0 to Manchester United. So we're halfway there. We're John Bon Jovi, but we'll do well to keep a clean sheet because Leicester, as I say, have scored 8 goals in the last 2 games and do look very, very good on the break. Good tackle by Martinez there. Into Garnacho. Fred. Oh, nearly played. I don't know whether he meant it, but he nearly put Rashford through 1-on-1. Supreme said 5-0. So I'll tell you what I would say, it's been a high-tempo first half, hasn't it? We cannot expect excellence each game. They're not robots, says Pauline. Exactly. For me, it's result over performance today. If we get a good performance, it's a bonus. But really, rotation, relentless amount of games. Of course, good tackle there. I think what we're doing here is we're doing, you know, it is a little bit like Ollie, trying to just give Leicester possession, which they don't normally have, and then counter. Good ball by Weghorst into Delo, needs Bruno wide right, and it is Bruno wide right, and the cross is good. Oh, Delo! Timo Delo! It should be 2-0. It's the best chance of the game. And it's a lovely cross by Bruno. And Delo's got to score. How does he miss? He's gone with his right foot. Just go with your bloody left. Why don't professional footballers learn to use their other foot? Because if Delo's got a left foot, this is 2-0. Oh, it's a tap-in. He's used the wrong foot. Watch what happens here. Cross comes in. He's gone with his right foot. Go with your left foot. Go with your left foot. Why does the modern professional footballer not have the capabilities to use their weak foot? I would have just tapped that in with my left. I'm right-footed, but I would have easily tapped it in with my left. It's just a side foot. It's a side foot. It's just a simple side foot. And I don't know why he goes with his right. It's so unnatural. But you'd be surprised how many footballers have got no weak foot at all. They just can't use it. Lovely cross by Bruno. Just let it hit your left foot. Yeah, it's just like that. Just use the instep of your left foot and it'll guide it home. Trying it with your right foot's harder. Because you've got to get it perfect with your outside. You've got to adjust your run. But look, to be fair to Delo, he's not the only player. Oh, good interception there by Lindelof. That would have been a 1-on-1. Leicester on the attack again. It's been a good game, you know. It's been nervy, but it's been a good game. Good tempo to it. Maddison back into Harvey Barnes. Goes to the back post. Good play by Leicester again, you know. Cleared by Luke Shaw. I definitely think there's going to be more goals than this. Can you do some half-time keepy-uppies? I don't think people want me doing keepy-uppies on here. I do it on That's Football if it's a crap game. I don't think people want keepy-uppies on here. They are a good team, says Abdul. They're one of the better teams to come to Old Trafford this season. I'll give them that. I thought Leeds played well in parts. Obviously, Man City are a good side, but Leicester, to be fair, have been one of the best teams we've seen at Old Trafford since Christmas. The strange part about this is Delot does have a weak foot. Played left back quite a bit at Porto. Yeah, Matthew, great point. I don't know why. I don't know why he just didn't tap it in. Weghorst in that position, they never find him, says Spartacus. And Ivan is watching from, or Ivan maybe, is watching from America, and we have like a 2-minute delay from your broadcast. Every time you get excited, I'm waiting for it on my TV. Sorry, Ivan. I mean, this is the thing, you know, sometimes we don't get 3 o'clock games we don't get in the UK, so everyone's always ahead of us. And but when it is on, you might be behind us. I will do some kick-ups at half time. I'll do some for you. Bruno, man of the match so far. De Gea, amazing performance too, says Aziz. I'd give it to De Gea because I think those 2 saves, not many goalkeepers make them, and they were basically stopped 2 goals. But Bruno's had a typical game. Some world-class moments and then some wasteful ones, but that's what Bruno is. Some people just think that he's going to play a perfect pass all the time, and he won't. I genuinely look forward to watching our games again, where even when we're playing well, it's just exciting. And I love Ten Hag, says Harry. Here's Luke Shaw. Nice ball out wide to Bruno. Where's the movement in the box? Nicely into Sabitzer. Puts the cross in, and Leicester clear it away. 5 minutes to go to half time. And the first half has actually flown by. It's been good. Well, it's been very good because United win. Fred's just shot from 40 yards. No, Fred. You're getting overexcited. He's getting excited. He thinks he's that guy. Ooh, I think Delot had to use his right because if he used his left, he's too close to the keeper, says Ronan. I don't know. I think you might be stretching a bit like me there, Ronan. God, my lower back is killing me today. You know, I used to suffer with lower back pain so much. And you know what? The last 3 or 4 years, I've really got it sorted, and I've obviously done something. I think Faze is going off here. I think he's done his knee. That looks bad. Oh no, he got caught by Sabitzer late. I thought he twisted it. I think he just got caught. I seriously don't know how Bruno does it. Someone needs to do a comparison of games Miles ran for the season against everyone else. Hope he rests, says SK. Oh, he's unbelievable. And I think the most important thing with Bruno is, and I highlighted this a few weeks ago, remember he's the captain of this team. This team is on a ridiculous run. It's been on a ridiculous run for months. And he is the captain. And the captaincy is majorly important. And he's done a great job. I'm going to Thursday's match, says Logan. I can't wait. The atmosphere will be fantastic, Logan. Enjoy it. Sabitzer red. Nah. That's a typical slow-mo. Let's make this look bad. In real time, he's gone to try and win the ball. I've played the game. And there ain't no way that's a red card. In slow-mo, it looks bad. But in real time, it's a genuine attempt to win the ball. Every footballer be 2-footed. How much you get paid, says Kyle. I wouldn't have even given a yellow. I agree. Anthony says all goalkeepers can stop shots. Yeah, apparently. Don't know why we don't just go and buy Leyton Orient's goalkeeper. You know, he'd save all these. That result yesterday, Man City at Forest, though, we've got to take advantage of that. I mean, they would never, you'd never expect that. Did you see the one where Foden ran through one-on-one and then tried to play a sweaty pass when he could have just tapped it in? Weghorst has just completely missed playing Garnacho in one-on-one there. Weghorst has been disappointing, says Vaughan. His passing is just not very good. There's Leicester on the break again. Maddison and Acho's offside. Read Stuart McGill's book, Back Mechanics, says Gorist Thump. Well, looks like we'll be going in ahead at half time, which would be great. It's been an interesting first half. I still think Weghorst is the problem, in the sense that we're just not fluid. And if it wasn't for that one moment, we'd all be sat here saying we've not had a very good half, really. But we are 1-0 up. They did make the mistake, and we are winning at the moment. Here's Bruno. Love the second goal, Weghorst. Look how slow Weghorst is there in a foot race with Faze. So slow. Wins the tackle, though. He's a hard worker, but the quality ain't there, let's be honest. He's a likeable guy, and he's a hard worker, but he just ain't that. Played like corpses, says James. Lower back pain is often a symptom of tight hamstrings. Had the same problem, says Alec Miller. John Knoll, thanks for the super chat. We're just about to hit the 45th minute here. I know they don't have options, but Fred and Weghorst have been the weak points of the squad so far, says Stephen. But the good thing about them both is they will put a shift in. They're not players that go missing. So what they lack in composure, they do make up in hard work. There were options in the second half, but Ten Hag seems to like Weghorst. Weghorst could end up being Ten Hag's Fellaini. Oh, Fred. Under no pressure, gives the ball away, and now Leicester on the attack. Just got to be better on the ball. Good shot by Maddison, just wide. On behalf of the chat, I'd like to say Weghorst is as useful driving a car with square wheels as Nathan T. And I'm Indian. I think Indian goalkeeper is available since all goalkeepers can save shots. While at it, get Indian strikers since all strikers can shoot, says Sumya. How good are India at football? Because you're never in the World Cup. Why? So many people in India love football. Why aren't you very good at football? It's a good question, and it's one that has always confused me, because there's a massive love for football there. Do people just not play it, maybe? I mean, even Australia qualify for the World Cup, and they love cricket and rugby. Weghorst has been doing good, to be fair. Fred needs to come down and read the game, says Spartacus. Hard worker, but the quality is not there, so Weghorst is just another Scooby-Doo, says Kevin. And at this point, I would even prefer McTominay in the 10, says Paul. Well, he might do that, actually. He might do that. Here's Rashford. Good tackle by Faze, but Bruno's going to take it on, and he's got the momentum. And that's a late... Oh, come on, ref. He's going to give a yellow card there. Yeah. Last chance for Manchester United. Weghorst is terrible attacking, but defending well and winning the ball back. Not what you want out of a striker, or in this case, a cam, says Tommy T. Some people are saying that Faze should not have got a yellow card because Sabitzer didn't. WWE fan says he should have been a red. The general consensus from people talking about why India aren't that good at football is cricket. Is Weghorst McTominay in disguise, says Huntley. We're all pushed into medicine and computers. No time for sports, which is sad, says Vin. Anyway, cross coming in here. Luke Shaw might shoot. Somebody just said in the chat, Shaw top left. Oh, tell you what, you weren't far off. He went for it. Fred's passing is what De Gea haters think De Gea's distribution is like. World class saves, but I want someone who can bicycle kick those shots away, says Sean O'Rourke. And Stop mentioning Fellaini, Mark, says Kevin. I've used the words once. I've used the words once. So, sit down. Right, it's half time. SK says that India has no investment in sports or athletics other than cricket. It's not a realistic path. It's changing, but really depends on investment. And we are not good at football because for our love for junk food, just glazes out. Okay, getting fine. All sorts of stuff there. Stretch bridge. I'm going to stretch a lot more than I would like today because I have got a really bad back and it's tough. It's really tough. I've got to be honest. I used to speak about this quite a lot. On a Sunday, I used to have something called like a dark cloud came over me, sort of like depression, and I had it today. And I thought, I wonder whether that was back pain that was causing it, because I was in a really low mood this morning, and not for any particular reason, but the one thing that's really bothering me is my back pain. But what has boosted me is our fantastic community since I've been live, taking my mind off it. And I tell you what, United are taking my mind off it as well. 1-0 at half-time. What are your thoughts on that half? I think that Manchester United thoroughly deserve to be in the lead, but we're not the better team. How does that work? Well, it works when you've got quality. Do Leicester deserve to have scored? No, because David De Gea has made 2 world-class saves. Do we deserve to be 1-0 up? Yes, because Marcus Rashford took a brilliant pass from Bruno and finished it brilliantly. We deserve to be 1-0 up. And this is what we're talking about result over performance. We are playing too many games to play well every game. So when you can't play well every game, you've got to rely on moments. And De Gea and Bruno and Rashford have provided those moments to maintain a clean sheet and to score a 1-0 lead. So, yeah, Leicester have been the better team. I think we can all admit that. But we deserve to be winning because big players have stepped up at big moments, and that is David De Gea, Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. So look, Leicester have played well, but if we can I'd take that now. I'd take that result now. I don't mind if Leicester come away from it going we were the better team. As long as we win 1-0, I think that's what it's all about. Aradhya says it's because it's all about cricket in India. Football is immensely popular in eastern parts of the country, but most of the youngsters still want to play cricket. Things have improved though. What do you mean even Australia qualified? We've won more international trophies than England, 666. Also, how good is Suter? Says that one right there. And De Gea man of the match first half. Without him, this game would take a different course, says Tim. So important to score first. We spoke about that before the game, didn't we? It's so important to score first. Fred and Lindelof fill me with fear whenever on the ball. Weghorst is not on the same level as the rest of the players. Can't wait to get some players back, says Aram. Not impressed at all. Fred, Weghorst and Sabitzer. How are we still operating with these levels of players? I thought we were past this, says Sean. Well, ultimately, Sean, I take the criticism on board, but really, what is the alternative? The reason we're using these players is because we have injuries. We don't have anybody else to play other than Fred. Mark, how many times you need to train back pain away, says Jims. I don't know, and I wish I could. And turn the lighting back on, Mark. It is on. It's right behind me. And what Leicester player would you take at United, says Constantine. Weghorst is not working in this game. Let's get Bruno into 10 and get someone else on the right wing, says Abhishek. I want to start off with Weghorst because, look, as things stand, we're winning. That's what the league would look like. So they've already added the 3 points on there. As things stand, 49 points for United, 3 points off Man City and 5 points off Arsenal. To keep that gap the same, we've got to win this game because it's only as it stands because we're winning 1-0 at the moment. Let's have a look at those stats that are on the screen as well. Manchester United's first half compared to Leicester. 55% possession for us. They've had more shots and they've had more shots on target. We've had 1 shot on target and we lead 1-0. The game is in the balance and Ten Hag will need a better start to the second half than we've seen in previous games recently. Leicester will keep coming. I think Leicester will have good chances again and maybe De Gea will be reliant on him. We've got to try and find that second goal. The funny thing is we should be 2-0 up. Delot has to score that chance. At 1-0, that would have been 2-0 and I think that would be game over at Old Trafford. But we've got to go and try and make those more chances. I think Leicester have got to go more on the front foot, so maybe there are more opportunities for us. But for me, I don't disagree with a lot of people in the chat. I think Weghorst is a hard worker. And I think Ten Hag likes that hard work, but he stands out like a sore thumb as the weakest link in the team. He's too slow. You know, he almost leads a 5-yard start on anybody. He's so slow over 10 yards, ridiculously slow over 10 yards. His passing is pretty average. And then when you put a player in the team that's slow and isn't really good at passing and you play them at number 10, he wouldn't be a good number 10 for Everton. He's not a good number 10 at this level. So he does stand out quite badly, but his work rate's good. And I like Weghorst, but we didn't buy him to play as a number 10. And he's so slow. It's just so slow. And I think it just breaks down our attack and makes us less fluid. But I can sort of see why Ten Hag does it, because ultimately Bruno should be playing at number 10. You'd have Anthony off the right, and we'd be a very different team, wouldn't we? I think if you had a front four of Anthony, Bruno, Garnacho and Rashford, we'd be a much better team. Even better if we had Anthony Martial fit. But at the end of the day, we're playing a guy who's on loan, who Burnley let go as a number 10, and yet we're still winning game after game after game. I think it's a huge credit to Ten Hag and the team and Weghorst that we're still able to find a way of winning these games. Garnacho, Sabitzer, Fred, Lindelof are awful in defence. They're simply running through us, says Manoj. Completely bedridden and slept in and missed the first half. How was it, says John? Well, we're winning. That's the main thing. Bloody hell, what's people's problems? We're 1-0 up in third. When did we become a bunch of moaners, says David. And can't afford to start the second half slow. De Gea saves were magnificent. That was from... Sorry, I didn't even give him a shout out. That was from Kurush. Also, let me just make sure we've caught up. Yeah, we have caught up. I don't anticipate that he will make any changes at half time. I think that we'll stick with it how it is for about 15-20 minutes, and then maybe you bring Jadon Sancho on. But I wouldn't be surprised if he kept Weghorst on. He doesn't normally take Weghorst off. He didn't take Weghorst off against Barcelona, did he? So he might not take Weghorst off. One player I will stick up for, though, is Sabitzer. I don't get the Sabitzer complaint. I really don't. I think Sabitzer is doing a... Oh, look at Sky. He's got a foreign passport. Let's try and say it's a red card. There ain't no... You're looking at it in slow motion. They're actually showing the replay in slow motion. That's your big problem. Why are they showing it in slow motion? Did it happen in slow motion? Oh, it's him. I've played the game. I've played the game. I've played the game. No, I've played the game. No, it's not a red card. It's not a yellow card because you're showing it in slow motion. It's a genuine attempt to win the ball. There's no yellow card. There's no red card there. He actually pulls out of the tackle. They've shown it 4 times now. Every time in slow motion. Show it in real time. Foolish. Anyway, it is, of course, 1-0 to Manchester United at half-time. I think Sabitzer's had a good game. You're asking him to... He's playing the Casemiro role. He's playing more deeper. That's not really what Sabitzer can do. I remember saying about 18 months ago Sabitzer can do that role, but it's not really his role. I think he's been the pick of our midfielders. I think Weghorst and Fred at times have been quite problematic. So, Sabitzer's probably the one consistent theme in there. I'd love Bruno to come in and support him, but I don't know whether that'll happen. Hard to give anyone any crap when they play so much, says Jeff. And I'll bring in Sancho for Weghorst, and I think Sabitzer has been class, says Quinton. Weghorst will be Eric Ten Hag's workhorse and sign him on a permanent deal. Mark my words, Mark, says Franco. I think Ten Hag's very happy with Weghorst. Ten Hag criticised Ronaldo for being a slow forward who can only head balls, and now he loans in Weghorst, a slow forward who can't head a ball. Is he having a laugh, says Kevin. And Chiri says that Weghorst puts in a shift in and he's a good ball winner. Yeah, he's just ridiculously slow. And telling how far we've come when we're winning with Lindelof, Weghorst and Fred on the pitch, says Kizza. I know. Right, I'm just going to try and do a few keep ups here because my thighs are... My leg is killing me. Absolutely killing me. We use the Europa League ball. It might be a good sign. Okay, let's see how many we can do. I've got no space and I'm in slippers. 4. Space is terrible. I'll get 3 lives. That ball's rubbish. It's got no weight in it. 5. I'm going to retire if I can't hit 10 in this. I could normally do 50. What? Oh, 4 again. What's happened to me? It's my back. It's my back. I refuse not to do 10. $53, I think. I was winding you up with the first ones. It's like writing a good script. Spielbridge. You do 3 rubbish ones and people think you're crap, and then you just turn it on. But in a confined space, that's not too bad. And that ball, I don't like it. It's panelled. It's not smooth. This ball's much better. And it's a United one. That's a lot better. It's got some good pump in it, that. Oh, I shouldn't have moved it now. There we go. You've got to pump it up. Techersbridge says, Bart, Beth needs to go before De Gea. Not an opinion issue, but clear evidence she does not understand the game. Promote Ricky, says Rob Costello. Beth's not one person who doesn't rate De Gea, though. Like, people were surprised we put that video up because I'm a big fan of De Gea, but I think when there's a conversation to be had as a channel, you should do that. It can't just be one opinion. You've got to have a conversation. The irony of Mr. I've played the game talking about Sabitzer tackle, he made a career of tackles like that. Did he say, did Mr. I've played the game say it should have been a foul? There's a clip of Souness basically stamping someone's leg off. So he's no one to talk about that type of tackle, John Rees. Would you sign Bella Kotchup in the summer? I would, John. I would. I like him. What would Dyche say to Voot at half time? I can't do it, Matt. I can't do it today. I did too much of it yesterday. I'm in a bad place. I'm in a back place. My mood is awful. You're the only people keeping me going today. Genuinely, I feel quite down. The football and the chat are keeping me good. That was actually good, Mark. You played the game, says Mark. Thank you very much. People act like Sabitzer is a CDM, but he's not. He's switching players. Brilliant. Calm down. I think he's had a good game, Sabotage. I think he's done a job for the team. And one of the things I would say about Sabitzer is he's not played 1 minute with Casemiro from the start of a game yet. That's one thing. Second thing, therefore, he's not really played in the position that we want him to play. He's doing a job for the team from day one. Very interesting, though, what Ten Hag thinks about Sabitzer. Because what I think and what you think is irrelevant. What does he think about Sabitzer? Is he going to put him in or not? Be really interesting to see how it works. Because, you know, if he likes a player, he'll put him straight in. Of course he will. Hi Mark, whole squad looks tired. We need the rotation option for Rashford and another midfielder if we want to nail down next season, says Mohit. Get the result. Get the result. That's all we've got to do. Get the result. Performance is secondary to 3 points today. You can't win every game playing well. And the old adage of winning games when you're not at your best is brilliant. If we come out in the second half and we tear Leicester apart, great. I don't think we will. I think it's going to be more of the same. I'll take a lovely 2-0. I'll love it. I'll bloody love a lovely 2-0. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. High Hopes, thanks for your little sticker there. Souness showing his arrogance again, saying he doesn't care. They've never played the game. It was a red. There wasn't any force in it. Yellow for me. How can Graham Souness talk about that being a red card when he was a filthy footballer himself? Can't believe Souness said I've played the game again, saying about that Sabitzer tackle. He hasn't played the game this millennium. When he was playing the game, the internet didn't even exist. In fact, when he was playing the game, I don't think houses had windows. Sabitzer needs more energy, says Mark. The thing is, I'm not even old enough to remember Souness playing. That's how old he is as a player. So please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're only 50 subscribers away from 589,000, so bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thanks everyone who's got involved. We're about to start for the second half here, and it'd be great to get 3 points. I've got to say, I'll be so happy with that. If we can do it, it'd be great. It'd be super smashing great. Don't forget, we've got player ratings and everything to do after the match as well. Rashford comes out for the second half. Can you make a video about our youngsters that we have out on loan? Mejbri, Fernandez, etc. Well, I could do, mate, but it's very difficult, Daniel, because people say, can you make a video on this? Can you make a video on that? No one gives a shit about that. Certainly not when we're talking about bids from Qatar and we've got a match every 3.5 days. I mean, we can bring it into a show now and talk about them, but, you know, taking the time to actually put a video out about that at the moment, it's very difficult. When he played the game, we didn't have seatbelts in cars, says Kay. And when Souness played the game, you'd be pushing along on your go-kart, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex would be walking past you. Jurassic Park. Sancho's coming on. We need to put a smile on the face of yours between Twitch and YouTube. I think your content has become a daily driver for me personally, says Neil. Thank you very much. So Sancho's on and Garnacho's off. There we go. The thing about Ten Hag is he's not afraid to be ruthless with Garnacho, is he? Like, some people would say, well, why won't he be ruthless with someone like Weghorst? Never takes him off. But Garnacho, you know, even the hint of a bad performance, and he's off. Oh, what have I done here? I've got the timer completely wrong. I'm about 20 seconds off. 45. I'll get there. There we go. Timer's right. Sancho's playing number 10. Weghorst has gone up front. Rashford's gone to the wing. Bruno still playing on the right, I think. I think Sancho's playing at 10 and Bruno's still playing on the right. Wout Weghorst has gone back at striker. I mean, I ain't got a problem with that, because there ain't no way that Weghorst is working as a number 10. It's not a bad cross by Delo, but it's the speed of Weghorst. He's too slow, look. He's nowhere near it. He's not anticipated it. Not quick enough. Ace Johnson, thank you very much. So Sancho's playing at number 10. Weghorst is playing at striker. Bruno stays on the right. Rashford goes back to the left. Let me start the stats carousel. Remember, this is sponsored by OneFootball. You can download it for free. Links in the video description, or scan the QR code. Get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news. Individualizes the stats as well. Free to download, Apple and Android, on all the platforms. Give a check out, OneFootball. Really good app for you to get for free. As you can see there, goal on Rashford's shoulder. Sancho's on the pitch. No changes for Leicester, but they do have a yellow card for Faz. And that will update, as will the league table be standing in real time. Trophy next weekend, says Mark Holder. Souness was the dirtiest player in Europe, says Red Adair. I think Sancho takes the number 10 now and Rashford goes to the left. Weghorst at 9 and Bruno on the right. An interplay between those four at the front. That's exactly what's happened, D. And another yellow card here for a Leicester player. Oliver says maybe Sancho will go to the right. We'll see. Bit of a late tackle on Rashford. That's what the yellow happened for from Mendy. Yeah, he's got his studs up. That's a yellow for me. It'd be nice to see Weghorst score. I don't mind Weghorst playing up front. I don't really like him playing as a 10. Reece isn't happy with the ref. Stuart Prattwell. Ronnie Pickering. I'm Stuart Prattwell. Good cross. Martinez onto the Denver bar. He should have scored. Free header. Lovely cross by Luke Shaw. We've broken the defensive line. He's onside, is he? And he should score if he is. Yes, he is onside. He's timed his run really well. Beat the keeper. Didn't hit the bar. And really, as much as people say Leicester's been the better team, that should have been a goal, and Delo should have scored. So, nice play here, Bruno into Fred. Come on, move it quicker. Into Bruno again. There's a ball into Weghorst. Oh, it's too slow. You play for Man United. He's taken an extra touch. Either hit it first time or get it to Sancho. Shit, or get off the potty. Too slow. Too slow. You don't get that time at this level. Cross comes in. We need the second goal here. We've got a bit of momentum. They're all on it now, Mark. Shearer has tweeted it was a red by Sabitzer, says Ash. Oh, shall I tweet him back? I'm blocked by Lineker. I may as well get blocked by another legend, England legend. I've just replied to Shearer's tweet, so go and give me a load of support, because Shearer will have loads of people backing him. Alan Shearer's tweet about lucky it wasn't a red, and I've just replied and said games played in real time, not slow motion. He won't like that. He'll probably get ratioed as well. Up the Reds, says Gemma. I tell you what, the tempo of this game has been good. Good to see them not sleeping at the start of the second half. Rashid, you're absolutely spot on. Trying to get that second goal. I guarantee Ten Hag has said to them since Barcelona, I'm fed up of us not performing at the start of the second half. So don't go out there and be snoozing. Gabby will reply to my tweet. He'll probably say that Sabitzer should go to prison and be banned for life. I mean, it's just quality of modern ex-players analysis, isn't it? I don't know why nobody figures it out. Every replay we see is in slow motion for a red card. It didn't happen in slow motion. Why do we have to watch a replay of a foul in slow motion? It's one of the things I've never understood. Good chance here for Leicester. Foul by Sabitzer. So I've got somebody in the Twitter replies to me from Shearer. I forgot you played the game and Shearer didn't. Oh, you know what? I'm going to make it my life's work to destroy this absolute cretin opinion that if you've played the game, you're better than anybody else. It's the most elitist get out of jail nonsense I've ever heard. Jose Mourinho is one of the best managers that's ever been. Didn't play the game at a decent level. Arsene Wenger didn't play the game at a decent level. Gascoigne is one of the greatest players I've ever seen. You wouldn't trust him to make you a cup of tea, let alone talk about the tactics from the first half. How many ex-players speak absolute rubbish? And how many people who've never played the game, i.e. football fans, speak way more sense? It's such an unbelievably bad take to say, I know more about football than you because I played the game. It's so bad. I've never agreed with it, and I think it's an absolute nonsense. Anyway, it's my catchphrase. I've played the game. I've played the game anyway. I've played pub football. What's the difference? Oh, I've played the game at the highest level. I know what's a red card. Veghorst. Move on. Overhead kick that he's just kicked out of Old Trafford. Shearer's replied, "Oh, what should we talk?" He doesn't realise we're chatting about him. Let's have a see. I'll just say, what's he say? Really, that should be a red in real time in slow-mo and still. Not for me. Slow-mo makes it look bad. Here we go. This will wind him up. This is really going to wind him up. Not for me. Slow-mo makes it look bad. Plus, it'd be a shame to miss the final for something like that. There we go. That'll do. He's going to absolutely hate that reply. He's going to hate it. Shearer ran in slow motion. Rashi used to push me on my go-kart on our estate, so I feel like I've contributed to his pace success as MB. Back in the days of Keane, that would have been the equivalent of a tackle in a friendly, says Martin. And has anybody forgot when Souness broke the leg of Ziggy Johnson in Iceland Scotland International? He didn't even apologise. Ended Ziggy's career. He was best midfielder of Sheffield Wednesday. Played for Arsenal, says Ace Johnson. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for that. Yeah, I think the line, it'd be a shame if he missed the final for a tackle like that, might just hit the spot. We'll see. I think Fred's coming off. We've started the second half quite well. Just need that second goal. Garnacho came off for Sancho at half time. Good ball by Fred. Rashford's in. He's got to score. And it's 2-0. And that's onside. They want an offside. Are they going to get it? Rashford looks happy. I don't think they are. If that's the goal, he's not. He's off. Bollocks. He's off. Rashford doesn't think so. Oh, his smile's gone. What's he thinking? He thinks it's a goal. The flag's gone up. The player put his hand up. I hate VAR. Oh, he's miles off. Miles off. 100%. I hate those sort of goals. That's one thing that VAR has taken away from us, is that you can't celebrate those goals as much because you're sort of like, it's borderline. Definitely offside. Why are they even checking that? It's so obvious, the offside. You're wasting everybody's time. Get on with it. Lindelof's an unsung. He's onside. It's 2-0. He's in. He's in. Oh, get in. 2-0 to Manchester United. He's onside. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it if you saw that. Brilliant for Manchester United. We don't get the full celebration, but we do get the second goal. Rashford starts the celebration again. He's loving it. That's a big goal for Manchester United. 2 goals clear now. Breathing space. Who got the assist on that? I think it was Fred, wasn't it? Let's watch it back. Martinez into Fred. Lovely ball by Fred. Rashford's in. Look at the composure. Look at the touch through the keeper's legs. 2-0 to Manchester United. That's a massive goal. Massive goal, that is. And Manchester United leading now. Massive goal. Get in. Rashford again. And Ten Hag's overjoyed with that. A bit of breathing space. That is why VAR is terrible. But actually, that's where VAR is probably good, because the linesman flagged. 24th goal in all competitions this season. Best season he's ever had goal scoring wise. Scott McTominay comes on. That's how good we're playing. We can afford to get McTominay on for a little bit. Fred comes off. McTominay comes on. We're 2-0 up. Gifted membership from Mick J. It's crazy that the playing the game is a cop-out for pundits in the UK. Here in the States, most of our best pundits for basketball and football never played the game at any level. They're just good writers. Yeah, I watch a lot of American football, and some of your best people are actually people who haven't played the game, and they get respected as well. Lindelof's an unhung. I've done it again. Adam and Mick, thanks for gifting memberships. Fantastic. Well, I predicted 2-0. It might end up being more than that, but it looked offside. It did look offside, but we're looking at it from an angle, aren't we? That's the whole point. It looked miles off, but the angle we're looking at isn't straight. The score changes automatically, mate. It's probably because of the VAR. But Fred's come off for McTominay. Let's just see this through now. I'll tell you what, De Gea's distribution today has been good. I've seen him hit quite a few risky passes and they've been good. Good tackle by Luke Shaw there. He's hurt his knee though. Don't be hurt, Luke. Castagnier. Oh no. I think he might have banged it. Hopefully it's just a bang. Yeah, I think he's just banged it. It's a good tackle, but I'm just looking at what knee he's hurt. No, he's all right, I think. He's a very well-built individual, Luke Shaw, and I think that's why he's picked up a lot of injuries in the past. He's just hobbling about here, and hopefully that's nothing significant, because he's a player at the moment that you can't afford to lose. Eric Ten Hag mentioned something to Tielemans earlier, says Jay, and bloody hell, Rashford, give a piggyback, scared the hell out of me. Please for Rashi, just dangerous. I'd like to save Bruno next and Rashi if we can, says SK. I don't think we can make loads of changes here, because I think you've got to respect the fact that Leicester have created good chances and there's half an hour to go, and 2-0 is a dangerous score in football. But yeah, I know what you mean. You just cannot afford to lose a Rashford or a Bruno at the moment. But you know what? If I'm Anthony and I'm Martial, what are the injuries, lads? I mean, you must be. There's a cup final next Sunday. You've got to be chomping at the bit to get involved, surely. Here's Sancho. One more pass. Bruno. Sancho. What a goal! What a goal for Manchester United! Jadon Sancho. That's football. That's how you play football. Brilliant, brilliant goal. Rashford into Sancho, into Bruno, back to Sancho. 3-0 to Manchester United. The referee's being spoken to by Tielemans. Don't be taking this one away from us, because it's absolutely beautiful. Manchester United 3-0 up against Leicester, a team that's come and played well, and we have put them to the sword. Here it is again. Rashford into Sancho. Nice little slip to Bruno. Could have shot. Plays it back to Sancho. Left foot finish, right foot pass. Left foot finish, right foot pass. And it's 3-0 to Manchester United. Lovely play. I don't know why someone said Weghorst man of the match. He's not involved, but yeah, that's how you play 2-foot football. Brilliant goal, absolutely brilliant goal, and Bruno has been remarkable. I mean, some of the performances today from Manchester United individuals, Rashford, De Gea, Bruno, absolutely fantastic. I think they're going to look for a foul. Nah, it's not a foul for me. Not for me. And it's not been given, which is great. So now you can start to look at changes, because 3-0, what can we do? Who can we get off the pitch? Who needs a bit of a break? Who don't you want to risk? Well, here's Luke Shaw. Still Luke Shaw. Have a shot. Oh, on his right foot as well. What's my opinion on Sabitzer, Lou? I like him. I like him. Korstab, thank you very much. No, I'm not going to tweet Alan Shearer again. He'll be already fuming. He only wants Sabitzer sent off because of next week. Adam's just gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Adam. Great to see Sancho score. Maybe Alan can get Gary to unblock you. BBC friends. BBC friends. Football friends. I can't believe Lineker blocked me. He blocked me because of the Casemiro thing. That's all I can think about. Ten Hag is unbelievable. He's changed this game, says Rory. That's the United I've grown up with. Amazing and beautiful football being played here. Let's go, says Aradia. I need a stretch. Rest Shaw and Rashford. Yeah, get Luke Shaw off next. Definitely get Luke Shaw off next. Malacia can come on. Trying to think who else we've got on the bench. I mean, you don't want to get stupid. You don't want to start giving up. You don't want to start getting. You don't want to get silly, do you? You don't want to start conceding goals. Michael Knighton, you might remember him from a few months ago and his bid for Manchester United. He's saying that fans must be given the opportunity to own a substantial and meaningful shareholding. Is that important to you? Do you want ownership in the club? Lots of people do. Shoot wide there, 64 minutes. Might as well do more subs, says Reds United. Yeah, I certainly think I'd be looking at Luke Shaw. He played on Thursday night as well. Nice ball out to Bruno again. I mean, look, Leicester getting beat 3-0 is very impressive. They've been so good in their last two games, and they just look lost a bit now. Corner to Man United. Mark, does Veldcourt still belong in a Harry Potter film, says Jesus. Man of the match is Ten Hag for me. Tactical changes at half-time, knows what buttons to press to make us better. And it was, Nick P, you're absolutely spot on. It was a tactical change. The way United have played second half is very different. The only person, actually, that was the same from first half was Bruno on the right. Veldcourt went from 10 to 9. Rashford went from 9 to the wing. And Sancho came on at 10. Completely different front four. How good is it to have Sancho back? Feels like a January signing, says Goddard. Still don't think Sancho's ready to start games. I think the last two games, Barcelona and Leeds, he looked way off the pace. But as we said, wasn't surprised that he didn't start today. But I think bringing him on in this sort of an environment and giving him a bit of freedom against the team that's going to attack, I think it works well for him. And it will do, it's all about confidence and patience. You're right. Mark, have to see how good United are in the second half. Is it the half-time manager talk? Yes, Glaze, is it? Exactly. Rob says, every week, Erik Ten Hag changes up the formation or forward position, rotational, mid-game. Hard for opponents to game plan, says Rob. Veldcourt is our 6'6", James Milner, says MVP. Rewatch what Veldcourt did. He's pressing like Mane, says Beagle. Well, this is something that we knew about Veldcourt before he came in. And it's something that Ten Hag keeps mentioning. Like, he does work hard. Like I think his pressing stats are always some of the best every weekend. Like he does work really, really hard. He's very limited at everything else, but he does work hard. And that, if you compare that to other forwards, he probably suits Ten Hag what he wants from the front line more than others. Erik Ten Hag is like Borg from Star Trek. He keeps adapting, says Catherine. That table is not changing now, says Pushin. Yep, 3 points off Man City. Lindelof's having a good day as well, says Sterling. Here we go. A couple of substitutions. Alanga and Wan-Bissaka coming on. Yeah, Rashford off. Clever substitution, this. Definitely a very, very good substitution. Yeah, it's Faze who keeps him on, isn't it? Lovely finish by Rashford. Good day's work for Rashford. 2 goals. Veldcourt has been using his invisibility cloak, says Ock. And Kevin says that, yes, but it depends on other factors such as voting rights. And if it's in the best interest of United instead of my personal wants, says Kevin, on whether we should have fan ownership. The good news now that we have the points is Casemiro has had a good break, says Brad Lewis. Yes. Well, we've taken 7 points from 9 without Casemiro. I think we would have took 9 from 9 with him. Yeah, Shaw and Rashford off. Happy with that. Oh, good. Oh, Sancho again. Bit greedy both times. Bruno looking at him. Should have passed. Probably should have passed. Definitely should have passed the second time. Good battling by Weghorst again. And it's Weghorst pass into Sancho. Yeah, he can't pass the first time. He can't pass the first time. Second time, can't really pass either. I think he's right to shoot both time here, Sancho. Don't know what you lot think. Bruno, man of the match. Nice pass back to Sancho to get him confidence. My captain, says Brian. I want a clean sheet now. I think David De Gea deserves a clean sheet. Here we go. Here we go. There's going to be more goals in this game. Oh, that's a foul, ref. He should be playing there. Ji-Sung Weghorst. He's been a lot better, Rob, since he's gone up front. Matthew says, are we in a title race? Well, look at the league table. You're 3 points off Man City. I think you've got to put yourself into that, haven't you? I don't think we can win the title. Maybe that's a little bit of reverse psychology, but you're 3 points off Man City. You're in a title race. I'm sorry. I don't make any apologies about that. Do I think we can win the title? Well, that's something very, very different, isn't it? Oh, Weghorst with the header just wide. Be nice to see him get a goal. We get sold and get proper signings and rid of the deadwood. The Premier League's better. Be afraid, says Tim. If Ten Hag does this now, imagine what he can do properly backed. Somebody did say, what do you think about fan ownership, Mark? I think when we had the Glazers, it was a really important thing. But I remember saying it at the time. You don't necessarily need it if you've got the right owners anyway. Fan ownership is great, and obviously it works in clubs on the continent, but you don't talk about fan ownership if your club's being run properly. If we get it, it'd be interesting. I don't think it needs to be a prerequisite, and I don't think it will be. I don't think the Glazers are going to sell to somebody who gives fan ownership. I think they'll sell it to somebody who gives them the most money. The new owners might want to give it, and if they do want to give it, you know, it can only be beneficial, but I think if you've got the right owners who want to do the right things, it wouldn't matter anyway. Here's Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side. The cross is good. And Weghorst again, he's just too slow to get on the end of it. The 27 for Leicester is quicker than the 27 for Man United. And it's just a lack of pace for Weghorst, isn't it? You know, if he had another yard of pace, he's got a goal here. But he's just too slow to get there. He's favourite to get there, and he doesn't. We aren't in a title race because every time we say we are, we drop points, says Bob. Well, we haven't dropped points today. Love you, Mark. Everyone has down days. You and the incredible Ten Hag revolution have kept me going and inspired me to never give up on my dreams. Good one, Alex Brenner. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the Members Club, Andy. I don't want this game to end. Can't stop smiling. Bruno's been so dangerous today, says Swift. Loving it. Loving it. We've had some bad years, haven't we? And it's great to have some positivity. And this, you know, look, this game's been brilliant today, but Barcelona on Thursday. The Carabao Cup on Sunday. We can park the Premier League for 2 weeks now, knowing that when we come back, we're in a title race. How great is that? You know, we don't play and our next league game, by the way, our next league game is Anfield in 2 weeks. But we've got 4 cup games before then. We've got Barcelona. No, 3 cup games before then. We've got Barcelona, Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final, and then West Ham in the FA Cup. I'm loving watching United these days. My mental health has improved since Eric came in, says Raz. And I'd love a clean sheet. Man United and De Gea deserve it. I bet Beth is regretting doubting our number one. Pete, I might get her to do another one video this week because ever since she's done it, De Gea's been bloody brilliant. Not that he's not been brilliant all year. I think our energy levels have to be commended, says E. Especially, I don't know how many games we've outlasted teams despite the number of games. And this game should be 6-2, says Billy. It's been a good game. I mean, Leicester in the first half were decent. I'm not saying they deserved the goal because De Gea made 2 great saves, but they could have had a couple in the first half, and we could have had a couple in the first half. So really, it could have been 5-2. You're right, 6-2. Beth's just called in sick. She can't do the. I don't know why. She was fine this morning, but apparently she can't do the fan forum. No, I'm only joking. She'll be there. 75 minutes. Player ratings is up and running on the website. I'll also drop one in for the members as well. If you are a member, that's the one I tend to use. But I will whack that on the community tab in a minute. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Jamie Vardy's on. Chat shit, get banged. Hype Beth just takes it all as banter. Oh, yeah, she will do SK. Mark, imagine if Ten Hag was in Chelsea with all the signings they have. Wish United could have similar with new owner and the players Ten Hag wants, says Nitro. If Klopp is Metallica, then Ten Hag is Led Zeppelin, says Daki. And Mike says, can everyone please not mention the words title race? Points dropped in the following game. Cheers to United stand, Mark, says Mike. Well, you know what? We can mention the word title race because the next game in the league is Liverpool. And I think basically what we'll say is, if we can go to Liverpool and win, then you've got to put us in a title race. But if we can't beat Liverpool, we're probably not. Really pleased with Weghorst this game. Working hard and he's running off the ball. Opened up the defence for the Sancho to score, says Tor. And the way Rashford's going, he might get considered as a regular starter for England, says EC. I mean, he should be walking. Should be walking into the England team. No doubts. I mean, how Southgate brought Sterling on against France instead of Rashford has to go down as one of the stupidest substitutes you'll ever bloody witness in world football. But this has been a very, very comfortable afternoon. I predicted 2-0 and 3-0 it is. Oh, McTominay got caught a bit late there by Tillemans. Do you really like it? Is it? Performance. Nice to have a ref not shafting us. Refreshing, says Kenneth. Do you think Ten Hag put Delo on the left so he can practice his left foot? Says Arjun. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter now. But the thing about bad misses is they're fine as long as they don't matter. Lindelof's had a good game, says Sean. I prefer Lindelof over Maguire because I just think we get more mobility. I think a few people have said that. I just prefer it. Maguire's a little bit more slow-mo, isn't he, compared to Lindelof? Obviously, Maguire's better in the air, but right, members, if you are a member and you want to do your player ratings, mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Player ratings is on the community tab for you on the homepage, so go and check that out. If you're a non-member, then you can just go to the website unitedstand.com and do your votes there as well. We'll go through that on the match reaction. In fact, I'll put it in the link for you now. Who's your man of the match? I think there's a few candidates, you know. Bruno, Rashford. I mean, De Gea would be a man of the match contender, but to be honest, second half he's not really had to do anything. I thought he was very excellent in the first half, but overall, second half, it's not his fault. He's not really had anything to do. So, for me, it's probably between Bruno and Rashford, and it depends whether you just go for goals or whether you go for creativity. Welcome to the Members Club. Thuriel, Matmon, and Victor H. Aaron as well. Lindelof has done well today. 8 out of 10. There you go. Love for Lindelof. Whenever Lindelof has played for us this season, he's been decent. Very good backup centre-back, says Sumya. United playing with real swagger now and confidence. Just Just before I put the player ratings in, don't forget I have had it in the live chat, our link for tickets for the United Stand show live in the March international break. Manchester and London, we've still got some tickets available. It's going to be a cracking show. Make sure you get your tickets while you can. Be fantastic evenings, and we can't wait to see you there. Interactive as well. You know, I tried some of this stuff out on the Ben Foster show a week ago, and it was really good. So get your tickets while you can. Be great to see you there. And for a beer afterwards, hopefully. Per Eric, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. I really don't want to see Maguire in a Man United shirt again. This is grand. Okay. Whenever Lindelof's played for us, I've done that from some year. Welcome to Members Club, Brennan, as well. Mainu's just come on for Sabitzer as well with 10 minutes to go. How's the ankle, Mark? Says Oscar. Fine. Absolutely fine. I'm good. Let's make it 4, says Corey. Hi, Mark. Just judging by the way we played, do you see us needing more of a centre forward rather than an out-and-out, stay up front, kind of like Benzema sort of player? Says Mohammed. We desperately need a striker. We desperately need a Casemiro replacement. The fact that we're still getting results without them is remarkable, really. Jaden, welcome to the Members Club. Very conflicted at the moment, hoping for a clean sheet, but made a good bet for both teams to score, says Pete. I think the defence deserves a clean sheet. I really do. I'll tell you what, I think this is probably one of the best games De Gea's distribution has ever been. He's really, even the long balls are going accurate. I think he's been really good today. Overall, whole game has been good. Bit of a wake-up call for Leicester. I mean, brilliant from Man United. Absolutely brilliant from Manchester United. Leicester, as I say, 2 big wins in a row. Come to United. We played Thursday night. They've had all week off and we're 3-0 up. You can't argue with that. Hey, Mark, what do you think about the green United shirt? It says South Side of Heaven. Not a massive fan, to be honest. Mainu's decent. Well, the fact that Ten Hag is giving Mainu game time shows you that he thinks he's ready. I've not heard anything about Graham Potter. Some mention in the chat that he might have been sacked. I've not heard anything about that. Some people are still talking about the bloody red card that Sabitzer should have got. Never in a million years for me. Mark, I know we know about Mainu, but imagine what he can develop as with Casemiro to look up to. So excited about the future, says SK. Look, at the moment it's interesting. If you want to vote on the player ratings, I've put the link on the members community section on the community tab. Shot by Leicester. Hi, Mark. What's going on with Bala says, what's going on with Zidane and why can't he get on the field? We don't know what goes on the training ground, but I think Ten Hag has always been very clear about the youth, that if he thinks you're ready to play, you'll play. I'm not just going to pick youth because they're youth. And I think with Garnacho and Mainu, he obviously feels that they're ahead of people like Iqbal and obviously Charlie Savage, who's gone on loan as well. So, I don't know because I don't watch them training, but I presume that's what it's all about. Who's man of the match for me, says Oliver. Well, I do it on the... I do man of the match when I do the player ratings on my match reaction straight after this. But I think for me, I'd probably put it... I would have given it to De Gea in the first half, but second half, he's not really had a lot to do. But I think that it's got to be Bruno or Rashford, and I think I probably would give it to Bruno. I mean, Rashford's been brilliant, but to be fair, he is brilliant. But I would expect him to finish both of those chances because he's a striker. I think Bruno's assists and leadership and the fact that he's playing 90 minutes again, I just think he's superhuman. I think it's unbelievable how he keeps playing these games of football. So I think I would have to give it to Bruno, yeah. But that doesn't make me right. I think we're fortunate that we've got so many players that we can give it to. Oh, that's a bad pass by Bruno now. Jinx, jinx, jinx. Lindelof's not a bad shout, Joshua. I think he has played well. I don't mind. Get your votes in. It's up to you. You know, you have your say. That's what it's all about. You know, I can have mine. You can have yours. The squad does seem very happy. Yeah. Alanga's not going to get man of the match, is he? Let's be honest. A fridge defender named Harry for Leicester, says Niall Miller. Ten Hag man of the match, says Danny. And I think Lindelof has been great, says David Eriksson. And he fits the team so well. In my opinion, he's clear of Maguire and has showed it in multiple games. Might be my Swedish bias, though. Fantastic to see Mainu. Thank you very much, David. Red Smurf says, my vote has to go to our manager. He's worked wonders yet again and made changes that we didn't think about and again closed the game out with them, says Red Smurf. Well, I think the clean sheet is as impressive as the 3 goals. You know, it's not easy to do that, especially having played on Thursday. But 5 minutes to go. 3 points in the bag. That's what we wanted today. And also, it's very important to remember that we only played in Barcelona on Thursday night. You know, everybody knows the problem Europa League football causes to your domestic form. Thursday night in the Nou Camp, and then 2.5 days later at Old Trafford, playing like this, it's great. And we might get another one here. Weghorst. Oh, he's bloody missed it. He can't score at the moment. In the Nou Camp at Old Trafford. Rashford buries that. Deserves a goal, but won't be getting it yet. Defensive work, I'd give him 9 out of 10. Offensive work, probably give him a 6. Peter, thanks very much for your super chat. Here's Bruno. Come on, whip the cross. Good header again. Dougie likes Sancho at 10. Good cross again. I like Bruno at 10, but he's done a great job for us off the right-hand side. Here's Mainu. Man of the match, Sabitzer for some users. Not a player that really impresses me, to be honest, says Felix. I wouldn't even judge Sabitzer yet. I mean, it's quite simply just not playing in his best position. I love Man United, but as an Australian, I love Suter, says Sat. And Grace says that Bruno's better on the right. Bollocks. No way. Absolutely no chance. Not for me. I've given Mainu a 10 in the ratings purely on this being his Premier League debut. Support the youngsters, says Ian. Nice ball into Sancho. Cut back, cut back. Bruno. Oh. Tried to lay it off to Weghorst. McTominay's had a good game, says Fabulous. I forgot he came on, actually. Just how different it would be if they listened to the ex-players instead of the United fans and got Pochettino instead of Eric. Mark, they chose right option. They did, Nathan, they did. And Weghorst being Ronaldo's replacement, literally with his form as well, says Arad. Weghorst couldn't score. I'm not going to read that, Sean, but here you go. De Gea kept us in it the first half, an hour, and he's about to beat Schmeichel's clean sheet record. Man of the match for me. Does he break it today, Joshua, or does he equal it today? It's a great point. I know that he's very, very close to breaking the record for clean sheets at Manchester United. But I don't know whether he's equalled it today. I think he might have equalled it today. Equaling it today. Thank you. Thank you very much in the chat, legends. Love being able to ask a question and get it instantly. How long's my hot water been on for? You won't know that one. Nice ball over the top. Don't concede. Lindelof. And wide. If you had bad teachers in primary school, you struggle in life. This is why past coaching staff affected some of the youth and had to let them go, says Omka. Fair play, fair play. He breaks it today. David De Gea breaks it today. Already level. Well, there you go. If David De Gea is breaking the all-time clean sheet record today, then maybe he gets man of the match. Four minutes added on. It's been a formality at the end. Well, he's not broken it yet. I've got to be very careful. I was just about to tweet it, and I've got to be very, very careful because I don't want to jinx that. I do not want to jinx that. And I very nearly put the tweet out, and I've jinxed things before. Sancho and Wan-Bissaka brilliant since coming on, says Dan. A lot of players come on and do well. They do. It's that hunger to get involved, isn't it? That's what you want. You want players getting involved. Maddison with a shot. De Gea just grabs hold of it. Easy save for him. He's going to get up now. I thought he was injured for a minute there. I was like, get up. Don't be injured, Dave. Ice on Luke Shaw's knee, says John. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that Luke Shaw injury because it looked like it was just a collision. But see the way Maddison just skips away from McTominay there. That's why he'll never be a CDM. Shaw is icing his knee. Hope no injury. It might just be swelling, D. In fact, sometimes ice on your knee is not a bad thing. That's swelling. If they took him down the tunnel, that would be a bad thing. Harry Suter is Maguire's brother. Looks like him as well, says Spartacus. If you're a member, the player ratings is on the community tab. You can go and do it there, or you can go on the. If you're not a member, you can do it on the United Stand. But I use the member one now. And we'll put the link in the video description of the match reaction as well. We are one win away from our win total last year, says Daniel. And if we win the Premier League this season, English journalists will say Harry Maguire led us to it and is the best captain we've ever had since Roy Keane, says Jackie. But we're into the last minute now. Here's Mainu. And I tell you what, fair play to the players and Ten Hag, because this game has actually been more comfortable this last 20 minutes than I thought it was going to be at half-time. We've completely dominated second half. Leicester have not been in this game second half. First half, they were. Second half, we've completely owned it for 45 minutes. SK says Weghorst has had a very good second half. Yeah, should have scored. Michael Talbot's very relaxed. He's so relaxed, he had a bath about 20 minutes ago and just watched it in the bath. Caledon, thank you very much for subscribing. Roll on Thursday, I can't wait. Yeah, watching United at the moment, it's just a pleasure, isn't it? Can't wait. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Lots to get involved in. That is the final whistle. Absolutely fantastic result. Leicester can't have any complaints about that. They were in it first half. We were in it second half. David De Gea breaks the the clean sheet record for Manchester United as well. And Barcelona, be ready. Man United are coming for you on Thursday night at Old Trafford. And then a week today, it's the Carabao Cup final as well. It gets better and better. But I tell you what, we're definitely in a title race. We're 3 points off Man City. Whether you want to be in a one or not, or whether you believe we're in a one or not, we certainly are. Right, get yourself over to the match reaction. You can do your player ratings through the link in the video description on that video. We'll react to this in a couple of minutes' time. I'll see you over there.